Strange tales, oddball theories, off-topic stories. It's time for more tangents with Harry.
Speaking of Piss Cat, a long time ago, I did my internship, and they put me to do the internship at Tufts University School of Veterinary Medicine. And I was like working on my computer, and all you could smell was like formaldehyde, because like they would bring all kinds of like animals in with like issues, you know, like Clydesdales with like eating disorders, you know, or I think like you know, camels, you know, with like whatever, one hump, whatever.
Smoking up.
You know, they're like a bison with cancer.
That's where he.
But anyway, I was working on my computer, and this nurse walked in. She was holding this cat, and she's like, "Hey Harry, like my cat?" I'm like, "Oh yeah." I was like kind of half paying attention. I'm like, "Yeah, sure, yeah." And it's like, "No, look at it." And she like turns around, and this cat had two faces. It was supposed to split into. It was supposed to split into two different cats, but it didn't make it that far. It had two working mouths, three eyes, with the eye in the middle was like in mid split. You know what I mean? It was like,
oh my god!
And it was so scary looking, you know. And I think it's the oldest living, or was. I don't know if they're still with us or if they're still with us, but it's the oldest living Janus cat, which means like
wow.
It's in the Guinness Book of World Records if you look it up, and it had two different names.
Sorry, I laughed so hard this stream. I'm dehydrated.
Sorry,
Harry, you kill me, dude. I love it. Mike, how about you? Do you have anything else that you want to?
I'm working on a new book called The Anorexic Clydesdale. I'm really excited about that.
It was so scary. It was like a 10-foot tall horse, like with like all skin and bones. It was scary.
It's a horror.
This camel won't stop smoking.
Join us next time for more tangents with Harry.
What?
What? What? What?
What?
We've got mighty mascots! We've got mighty mascots!
You asked for it, so we delivered. The Mighty Mascots is now in demand on Indiegogo. Get your mascots today!
Hey, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Indie Comics Relay. I'm your host, Keith Gleason, creator of the Mighty Mascots and promoter for the Plastic City Comic Con. With me, as always, Johnny C., creator of Sartana, Surrounded by Death and the Pond. For who, Johnny?
My good cousin, Roger Morocco.
Absolutely. And our third co-host, Harry G., graphic artist extraordinaire. What is up,
everybody?
Fellas?
What's up, guys? Harry's Janus Cat video makes me laugh just as hard from the first time I heard it when I watched the replay.
It's hilarious.
And I still think there's Camel Joe in that laboratory smoking somewhere.
Probably. Oh, my God.
With his flappy hump.
I used to tell the joke that in the basement, the sub-basement of the Hasbro corporate office, there was a jail cell where they actually held a living Mr. Potato Head. And they just tortured him by taking off fucking body parts and putting new parts on.
Yeah, just to see how he'd look.
Yeah, and it's just super pain. He's like screaming bloody murder as this Potato Man just keeps having his limbs just rearranged
up and put back on.
I keep hearing Don Rickles' voice in my head.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
No, not Wednesday. That's when they bring in the 7-year-olds.
Yeah, right. That's great. I think of Don Rickles from Dirty Work when he.
Yes. Yeah. Hello, Ice Cream. Having a good time in there. My favorite fucking line from that movie.
Yeah, it's so good.
What about the baby
swelling up as I speak?
Yeah, you're swelling up as I talk to you. There's a lot of
Like,
lines
that
from
was-
that movie you can't quote nowadays.
Oh my god!
Right.
And my favorite part, I actually really like Chevy Chase in that movie. And,
Oh
like, how
yeah,
he
the
was such
gambler,
a bad
degenerate gambler.
Yeah. And the funniest is when he bets on Mr. T to win in Rocky 3. Oh god.
I
so
love when
funny.
he's like, it just doesn't make sense that if they take a limb, they still want the money.
Yeah, right.
Which I always thought, like, okay, if they're gonna chop your arm off, well then you call it even.
Yeah, right. It's great stuff. And that movie was such a bomb too. Like, yeah, I think it has
it's you know what?
the
It's a
cult
classic.
hit now. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that was like in my stoner rotation with like Half Baked
yeah.
and Dazed and Confused
Better
and
Off
like
Dead.
all those. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Classic.
Yeah, we'll talk real briefly and we'll bring in tonight's guest because I
Yes.
love this guy. He's one of our
He's the
favorite,
best.
one of our best guests, I think. One of our top 5, anyways, on this show. I
I'm
think.
very much looking forward to hanging out with him at IC3.
Yeah, finally meeting. Have you never met him face to face? Have you? I haven't.
Sure
either,
haven't.
So it'll be nice to meet him this weekend. It'd be great. But wanted to talk real briefly that me and Johnny had a chance to visit Northeast Comic Con this weekend, and it was just fun. Like the one thing I loved about it, Johnny, it was like me and you have been in the Comic Con scene for so long now that like we walk in there, we're like kings, dude. Like, I mean, honestly, we couldn't go 5 feet without someone else calling our name and stopping us.
I was telling Keith, you guys are like celebrities. You guys should wear like a costume, like a 2-man horse costume.
I just see it as like here's the room with all my friends, right?
Yeah, that's what it was.
You know what
like, and it's not a show that I really table at anymore, but I used to. But everybody that was there we see it year round everywhere else. So that was kind of cool. It was just kind of like the first show after the winter, where you just kind of catch up with everybody. And then as it goes, as the rest of the year goes, it'll get less exciting to see everybody. But like
regionally, if it's around this time frame, it's a sweet spot show.
Yeah.
Right? Like if the guests are great and it's the first show of the season in the area, it's going to be a good one. That usually is a formula for success. And we heard a lot of pretty good positive feedback from people that we saw at the show. So
yeah, and like Roy Thomas was there, so it brought a lot of comic book people out.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was cool. It was really cool. And I would visit it more. I think I would visit it every year and just hang out. I don't think I would get a table because it's like
it is convenient. It's pretty local to us.
What'd you say, Harry?
It's really close to us, like very local. So it's like really like
a good thing about it. Like it's pretty big for for a kind of show like that too. It's like 2 rooms, and then it has like a bunch of other stuff going on, panel rooms and things like that. But some of the prices on the celebrities were really bad. Like I was actually interested in getting a selfie with Alan Ruck because I mean I liked Ferris Bueller, but I liked him more in like Succession. Like I thought he was great in that, and I loved him in like Young Guns 2 and stuff.
Young Guns 2, I forgot about. I was trying to think of like the one because I was telling my coworker today. I was like, oh yeah, Alan Ruck was there, and I think I even mentioned it to Amy. Or somebody, I go, oh, somebody said, oh, he looks really good for his age.
Yeah, he looks great.
That's that HBO money, right?
Yeah.
Once you get that HBO money, you can get some work done.
Yeah.
Well, or at least buy some nice expensive cream for the face.
Yeah,
or something,
exactly. But like he was asking for $50 just for a selfie, and I was like, I thought that was outrageous. Like,
yeah, and I think if I remember correctly, William Ragsdale was like $30, right, or something like that.
I think he was less. I think he was only 20,
like 25.
Something like that. But like, yeah, I thought that was crazy. And like,
you would think you'd get more people buying photo ops or whatever if it's lesser.
The only thing I could think
range.
of, it might not have been him setting the prices. It could have been the convention setting the prices.
Well, I mean, as a convention runner, that there's guarantees that have to be made.
Yeah,
right?
so that's what I'm thinking might have been like, just so they I bet he gets paid like what he would get paid for a day on the set of Succession. You know what I mean?
Maybe. I don't think that much. I've heard wild stories about bigger conventions and some of those payouts, but I don't know about something like that. You know what I mean? Or at least that size.
Yeah, like maybe it's smaller just for an appearance fee or something, but still, it's like his small is like 10 grand or more.
Yeah,
you know?
I've heard that Marvel actors at bigger conventions, meaning 100K plus, get or net in autographs and photos close to the amount you would get paid on your first Marvel movie as a reoccurring character.
Okay.
So it's almost equivalent.
Interesting. One thing I wanted
which is
to
not
point...
more than $500,000, just for people who are curious.
But it's like what you would get for your first movie, like a younger star kind of thing.
Right.
Johnny, can you check your X connection? Like I see
I'm streaming on X right now.
You are? Okay.
I am. Yeah, I got a green check mark. You have to keep hitting the button, Keith. There's something going on with it.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, you have to just keep resubmitting.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks, Elon. Dick.
Right. I was like, what the hell's going on? Okay.
Look, I got a bone to pick with that guy since before the Cybertruck came out. And all I wanted to know is if I can mount a snowplow on there, and he never got back to me. And ever since then, he's been off my list. He's out of the will.
That's funny. Yeah. I mean, not a lot of people are thrilled with him. I could see that, which is, whatever. We're not going to get into that. Right. Last thing I want to talk about tonight.
Yeah, I didn't mean to get that far too deep. I'm just pissed off about.
Yeah, no, but you let a little grievance is good once in a while.
Yeah, a little bit
is good.
A little bit.
But without further ado, let's bring in tonight's guest. Me and Johnny did his show maybe a month ago at this point.
We recorded a month ago, but it dropped very recently.
Yeah, and I rewatched it. It was pretty good. It was
good.
Let's bring him in. Like without further ado, tonight we have our guest Brandon Bloxdorf. What's up?
There
Brandon?
he is.
Hey, what up, guys?
How's it going, man?
Welcome back, man.
We were just telling Johnny.
Thanks.
I rewatched the episode of the Comix Wellspring Inspired Ink podcast that we were on together, and it was a good episode. But the part that made me laugh was that when Johnny brought the whole episode to a halt to talk about the 7-Up Shirley Temple that I was drinking.
Dude, I messaged him like 2 days ago. I was like, "Don't forget my drink." Like, my girlfriend's gonna want one.
Did you really?
I know. Yes. I remember it because I saw like a clip and I was like, "Yes, this is it. This is the cool part." Yeah. No, my girlfriend's
have you guys tried that orange cream
so
soda drink? The Coca-Cola orange cream. Have you tried that?
I didn't like it. I didn't like it either.
No.
I liked their last raspberry one, which I thought was pretty good.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna try it one more time, but I didn't like the first time I
bought a 12-pack. I was disappointed. I'll bring it this weekend. Free. Whoever wants it. The first 12 customers.
The Dr. Pepper Blackberry is pretty damn good, though. I gotta admit, I like that.
That was interesting. Yeah, my girlfriend picked that up, and I was like, it's not for me, but she loved it. So yeah.
Okay, that's good. Is your girlfriend a big soda drinker?
She's into soda. Yeah. I'm cool with ginger ale. I'm just if I get a ginger ale, I'm happy. Like that's the right guy.
I'm actually for IC3 this weekend. I had a custom label made. There's a soda company near New Haven called Avery Soda, and they do like a custom label. So I've done this like the last few years, but I'm going to stop there and grab like a case of soda with like a custom label for my comic and bring it to the show. So I'll have those to sell, but they do have a Shirley Temple flavor, but I'm curious to see how it will be because it's, it doesn't have the 7-Up part of it. Mm-hmm. So I'm wondering if it'll be as good or worse or what, but
we'll try it. Right. We're like right behind each other, so I'll definitely be grabbing.
Yeah, I saw that Tanner is in back of me. Tanner Ogle.
He's gonna be with Javi Martinez actually. The way we
so is he in another spot? But are you going to be behind me?
I'm behind you with John O'Burke. And my girlfriend.
Oh, okay,
Lex.
perfect.
And Javi Martinez and Tanner are going to be right in the first ballroom. The first like dip in that first little conference room. Yeah, they're right there.
Okay, so because I saw Tanner at the show we were just talking about this weekend, and I think you're behind me, but now he'll be close by. It sounds like it's kind of a smallish area, anyways. Is that true? Or I've never been.
I mean, okay, cool. So it's IC3 is really interesting because you walk in and it's in a school for one, so you kind of get reminiscent. You're like, well, this is kind of trippy. It's on the 3rd floor. And you head up there and you walk in and you kind of go around the stairwell area. And then I think that's where Matt Sardo is going to set up and like the entrance and bring people in. And then it's a little hallway. It's like a curved hallway. And last year, those conference rooms, we just got to dip in and hang out. Like it was like the backstage of everything, where you got to be there and whatnot. And so this year they filled them all up. So you go down this hallway and there's going to be like 3 conference rooms that are, pretty snug, but like you could fit a good amount of people in there. And so we're going to have the tables lined up in there. And then there's going to be people outside of those conference rooms too. In fact, Eric Allred and Ben Collins, who do Outer Space with us, are in that area going down the hallway. And
they're
then
next to me.
Oh, Red. Okay, sick.
Yeah, so I'm WW1. I think they're WW2.
Okay, so just like on the next spot over? Yeah.
That sounds like a little bit like my show, the way it's laid out with the smaller rooms, Johnny. Like they're off the main hallway. Yeah, and
you have to pass by them to get to the main hallway, so it benefits everybody. There's no cheating in that sense with the layout.
Usually, the small rooms can be dangerous at a con, like if you get caught in one, because they're usually like off so far away from everything.
Yeah,
but like even at the place where I do my show, they have them like right in the main hallway, so you can't miss them. So I tell, like last year I was worried about it, but then I walked through and I was like, wow, people are in there, like, going through, and it was just like, it's just laid out so nicely. And it sounds
it's
like
this fun and like magical in a way, just like little shops everywhere,
little scavenger hunt or something,
You get through, I'll tell you about a scavenger hunt right now too, actually.
Oh, really?
But we walk through the hallway, you get past those conference rooms, and then you have a whole bunch of like space where we just line the whole wall up with tables, and then you enter the ballroom, and the ballroom is like the main area. That's where you go, right when you walk in. CWS is there and Apollo, and then we have Monty Keene right up there up front, and in the kind of to lead you to the back, we have Cosmic Lion Island, and that's where Rick Lopez is, and Eli and everybody, Ro Higashi and whatnot is also going to be out there, Anton Blake. Some super hype that like it's spread out in a way to like keep on capturing your attention. It's very intentional. Nobody, doesn't matter where you land, you're in a good spot. I feel from what I just experienced last year, I think everyone saw it. Everyone gets exposure.
I like that the panel room is on the opposing side, so it creates cross traffic, right? So people, you have to go, you have to move through and see everything. I love that. The way it looks like it's laid out, I'm very excited for this weekend.
Yeah, like I was saying to Johnny too, like we're starting the convention season off with what I'm hoping will be my favorite show of the year. Like
same.
You know what I mean? Like there's not a lot of shows like this. They're very few and far between, and most of them are hard to get into. So like getting into one like this is huge, So I can't wait. I can't wait to meet you. I can't wait to meet Matt and all those names you just mentioned. I don't know any of them, so you'll have to do some introductions, Brandon.
Well, I mean, that's what's so cool about this con. Like, this is one of the few cons where you're like, you know what? Even if I'm not tabling, I just show up to network. Like, for a big example, like, dude, R.D. Murphy, great kid, awesome dude, making cool like art and comics. And last year he just showed up to IC3 and he was just handing out his work. And this year he's tabling right next to Apollo, which is rad.
Okay,
it's his first like real time tabling at a convention, and it's IC3, and like it shows that just by going in and networking, like I'm so excited that he's next to me because we have such a connection. And so just show up, even if you're not tabling. As a creator, try to make it out there. Like as a fan, like talk about loading up on comics. Like this is the time you can get stuff.
And it's so inexpensive too to get in. It's like cheaper than my show, and I do $10. Like $8
awesome.
is like crazy. I told Matt, like, you better get a lot of ones, brother. Cause like, there was one year when we first started our show, I did $2 admission, and I must have ran to the bank like 40 times that day just getting ones, because you end up going through them like water, like, so
A lot of ones and garter belts.
yes.
I don't know. Maybe.
Right.
But you guys feel like sad that it's like this con that you like, the IC3 is at the beginning of the year instead of the at the end of the year, because
No,
you would have something to look forward to at the end of the year. No,
because I'm energized right now. I'm not sick of
this
it.
is
I'm
good
working
kickoff.
on it.
You're
Okay.
off, right?
all right.
I was just gonna say that, Brandon, is that like a show like this where there's a lot of just like a high concentration of indie creators, there's a lot of creativity floating around. And Keith has said it many times, and I've experienced it, and I've said it many times as well, where when you leave that kind of environment, you feel very inspired and you feel very recharged to want to get there, go out, be creative, make more work, and find new ideas, things like that.
Yeah, like that's what I'm hoping from it. I'm hoping to walk out of there being like inspired for the rest of the year, like to make more comics and especially meeting people. Like I love meeting creators, and I love the camaraderie of shows like this. And I'm gonna have a smile on my face all friggin' weekend. So
this is the first show that I'm exhibiting at that Tony McMillan will be exhibiting at.
Oh, cool.
And Tony McMillan did this book called Attaboy, which was like this.
Sounds familiar.
It's like this Mandela effect. You probably have it, Brandon, where it's like it's presented like an oversized video game manual from the 80s.
Oh, cool.
But it tells the story of like this kind of like Mega Man like story of
Oh,
this
neat.
robot boy. There you go.
Yeah.
That's it right there. Bingo. So I'm super excited.
Let me make you big, Brandon, so I can see some of the artwork in this.
Yeah, his artwork is amazing
look at
in this
that.
book. It's so fun.
I have a Tony McMillan sketch in my living room. Actually, I love Tony. Such a good guy.
This is great, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that
dude,
page. I love it.
Dude, Tony.
I'll have to
Tony's
grab
awesome.
that.
He does some fun stuff. Yeah.
I'm gonna try to have a little extra cash with me this weekend. So
I have the oversized copy from the campaign.
Oh, you
Nice.
backed the campaign. Oh, nice.
Yeah, look at that.
That looks cool, man.
So I want to like maybe leave with them, and he can maybe remark on the cover or something.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
You know what I
that'd be
mean?
awesome.
Or do something neat. I love this book. I absolutely fell in love with this book. So I'm super excited to be able to meet Tony this weekend.
Nice.
He's a great guy.
I feel
We
like,
just had him on Spilled Ink
did you?
3 weeks.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. We did a Fantastic Four night. And he's just such a fun, cool dude. We hung out at Heroes Con last year.
Cool.
Great dude. Super cool.
I just
you guys
feel
are
like
gonna love him.
I feel like I'm gonna geek out in front of him and look like a fucking like a square or something. You know what I mean?
I don't think
Just because I love that idea. I love that book so much.
Yeah,
that's
fuck yeah.
so cool.
That's exciting to hear though. Like hearing someone that hyped about like Tony's work or just like another indie creator's work, where it's the excitement people have for like, the big two whenever something's coming about and you're just talking about comics with your friends, So like
Absolutely.
even the fact we mutually know who this person is, and now we're telling Keith and like, Harry and just like, go check this out. Like that's the community thing that we're building. We want everyone to read each other's books, and like a lot of us get each other's books and just support them. You know what I mean? And like, we have a whole bunch of indie comics, but we haven't read them all. Like our backlog of the big two, but like taking that time and reading and becoming a fan, like that hits hard. That's a really, really, really cool thing. You don't hear it enough, honestly.
Speaking of Spilled Ink, I liked your Nosferatu episode. Like is that the last one you did, or?
Yeah. Thank you.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, I like the.
So wait, is there a new comic, or was it about the movie, or is it like?
No, it was just the prompt for the night that we were drawing.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah.
How do you come up with the theme for the night or for the drawing?
I just started a group chat with the creators, and I'm like, "What do you guys want to draw?" We just mix up stuff.
Very simple.
That's very yeah.
Have you seen that? Have you seen that movie, or did you like it?
I loved it, dude. I thought it was sick. I thought it was a great way to end the year, to be honest. It was super dope. I like how they mixed like the classic Nosferatu, but like enough of the Dracula, like the Bram Stoker stuff to make it like interesting on all levels. And like just the redesign I was super down for it. It was cool. It was interesting. Kept my attention.
I liked everyone's drawing, but one of the guys.
You should join on that, Harry. You're an artist.
I think. Well, I was thinking that we should all do like a special ICR night.
Oh,
Dude, I'd be down.
drawing?
Yeah,
Honey, can you draw?
Can't draw for shit.
That's perfect. Who cares?
That's what the show's about. I don't know how to draw.
I took a drawing. Exactly. I took a drawing class. Well, I had like in college. I went to community college before I went to 4-year school, and I was in an art class. And there's a kid, in the class that had some mental issues. He wasn't, like he was a special kid, whatever. And he was in the class, and he, everybody was drawing like the model, a bit like a model from the class. And everybody was drawing the model, like traditionally, proportionally and everything. But this kid had an eye over here, an ear over here, like a foot up here, and like a hand. And it was the most amazing drawing ever. It was like a Picasso almost, like nothing really made, everything was there, but not in the order that you might.
It was very abstract.
It was amazing though. Yeah. Like, amazing. Like I would buy that as a painting or a drawing. It was awesome. The way he did it. So it's it was interesting to see everyone's like different style of drawing and everything.
Cool.
But
I mean, we could use, we could do that and use me as like the bench curve, right?
Dude, that's where building came from. Is that I don't know how to draw, so I bring on these I have my amazing co-host Max Flowers, who's phenomenal, and then I bring on all these cool indie artists who are really great. Oh, he's so good. I love Max.
No, Max Flowers is drawing of Nosferatu look like the Green Goblin almost from Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like Willem Dafoe's face almost.
Yeah,
I think
really?
that movie
That's
was
cool.
the movie was ruined by the outer skeleton. Willem Dafoe wore. Like Willem Dafoe's face alone is the Green Goblin. He's got these crazy teeth and this pointy nose. Like I think the added. Suit ruined it for me. I don't know.
I think that's weird, why he was redeemed in No Way Home, where he was like he had the armor, he had the hood, but they let Willem Dafoe's perfect face do all the fucking talking.
His face was perfect.
Yeah, man.
Very true.
It really did.
That's cool. Like, maybe we could talk about doing something like that. I'm not opposed to it.
Throw you guys on the show. I'm always looking for guests on Thursday nights. So, like, anyone who's ever down, you just got to shoot me a message. I'm like, how does this Thursday probably sound? Because I kind of scramble. I try to. It's a bonus I get to do for work. So it's one of those things where, like, sometimes I forget, and it's like Tuesday. And I'm like, I don't know what we're doing this week. Or Max will text me, like, what are we doing? And I was like, I had no idea that this was Tuesday or Wednesday. So I need to scramble to find guests. So, like, I'm always looking for people to come. And the more, the better.
Is it weekly or is it, how often do you do
weekly,
it? Is
yeah.
it weekly or
every Thursday night?
Oh, weekly.
Yeah.
I was just thinking we could do it in a sketch off format.
That could be fun.
And that way I could host it like a sketch off, not to step on any other hosts here, but I could host it like a sketch off, and then all the competing artists could get the prompt, right? And then the audience would have to then vote for who wins that round or who wins that sketch.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
That'd be so. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
So I do that.
Shortly after IC3.
Yeah, I was gonna say I do that at panels and at other shows anyway. So it'd be fun to do a virtual version of that. I've never done that before.
I wonder if you guys
do that.
I wonder if you could do like a variation of your drawing night, like have like a win, lose, or draw type of thing, kind of game, like a drawing, like somebody in some corner is up and whoever guesses it first, the thing wins. Like whatever they're trying to draw or something. There could be some kind of game.
Oh yeah, like a Pictionary kind of thing.
Yeah, Pictionary or something. Taboo or whatever. Yeah.
We're gonna mail out like sketch boards to everybody to like.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
I was actually debating on whether I should bring like easels and pads to the drink and draw to do like an impromptu sketch off. That might be fun.
Oh, yeah.
I just didn't want. I wouldn't want to like
bring as much
plug
as you
the
can.
gear and just be like, "Hey guys, look what I have."
Well, we're gonna Friday night. We have a lot of cool stuff planned for that. We have CWS is providing sketch cards for people to use and just to draw in general.
Oh, really?
And Eli Schwab from Cosmic Lion and I teamed up, and he just showed me like the proof that he's making right now. But we're doing this really cool book. It's just a Cosmic Lion Apollo City Comics sketchbook, and so everyone's going to be able to draw in one panel and contribute to this book. And so we're gonna fill it up. We had a bunch of our creators
cool.
design panels, and so like the more you flip, we already have all the panels set up, and you just have to draw whatever you want and fill in the story and keep on going and bounce around.
Oh, okay. So like, is it going to be a continuing like narrative?
I mean, if it turns out to be, then it turns out to be. You know what I mean? Whatever events
I would love
to
dabble with that.
Yeah,
me and my friends started doing that one time, and it was kind of cool. Like we took like a movie, like a horror movie, like Phantasm, and we did like I started it off. I did the first 2 pages, handed it off, and then my friends would do. My friend would pick up the story. We didn't know where it was going, and he would do the next 2 pages, send it to the next friend. I think we did like 2 rotations, and then it was just kind of done. But like, it was kind of fun to like pick up where someone leaves off and try to continue like that narrative, and each person would try to write the other one into a hole or with a cliffhanger. And so you would have to figure out how to get out of that, It was kind of fun. But yeah, maybe it'll turn out like that. And I think me, Johnny, and my wife, Amy, should be at the drink and draw. We're both coming in.
It's at the hotel,
Friday.
Right?
Yeah, it's at the hotel.
Lord.
Yeah, me and Johnny. I think Johnny. What time are you heading down, Johnny? You heading down?
I'm gonna try to get down there early.
Me
we
too,
can't check
I
in until 3. But I think you can start setting up at noon, between noon and 3,
it's
right?
like noon and 3.
So get there early, set up.
I think we're
planning on
miss that window. I don't see us making it there by 3. It's about a 7-hour drive for us from where we're coming from. And we have like a whole squad with us, so it's going to be kind of like 5 of us are driving up at once this weekend. So we have people coming starting tomorrow. In fact, this whole week is insane for us. In general, for Apollo, we have a bunch. We'll get to the Apollo announcements right now, but I think we'll probably be hitting just in time to grab like dinner and then hit the drink and draw and hang out.
Word.
Yeah. So I think we're planning on. We're gonna leave here probably around 10 because I got to stop and get that soda, and then I want to get there for like 1 so we can set up 2 and then get checked in and then come to the drink and draw.
Where are you guys staying at? Are you staying at the Courtyard?
No, I ended up getting a hotel somewhere in New Haven. It's I forget, the Courts or something. It was like about 120 a night or something like that. So so we're looking for something cheap. I wasn't gonna do it at first. I was like, I'll just come in Saturday morning, but then I was like, this is such a unique con that like I just want to kind of experience all of it. Like. I probably won't go to the after party on Saturday because we'll probably head out at that point.
Okay.
And then, but I definitely want to come in and do the drink and draw and chill with everybody and and see how that goes and stuff. So I think it'll be fun.
We're going to try to film as much as possible too, the day of the con and the night before. I'm getting footage, whenever I'm at a con as Comix Wellspring, I always try to get con footage just to showcase everyone and like show the con. But Apollo right now is shooting a little like indie comics documentary. We started it this week, because we have such a packed and insane week going on right now that it just seemed appropriate. We wanted to show like the life of an indie comics creator, and just showing like everything someone goes through. So like, for example, this week we kind of started shooting Sunday to like start it off, and that's when I met with the creator Bob Little, discussing bringing on board a book to Apollo and like their situation and how we would help. And then later that night, I interviewed Matt Sardo from IC3, showed like that promotion. Today was a work day, and then I'm here talking to you guys and just talking to other creators about all this and kind of documenting that. And then tomorrow we have a work day, and then Javi Martinez from Apollo City Comics is driving down from New York. He's going to come, we're going to prep up some stuff because tomorrow as well, not just a work day. We launch a Kickstarter tomorrow. I'm super excited about it. So
I want to definitely look at all that stuff.
Yeah, dude, we'll go into all of that. It's just for a week, so we're going to try to push it.
You're doing a week?
Possible.
Wow, okay.
It's a week and it's 2 anthologies. It's 2 books, not just 1.
Yeah,
this is a very ambitious project. So I'm actually very interested to kind of dive a little bit deeper into why you guys are so crazy to want to take on such a thing. But,
before we get into that, Johnny, I just wanted to kind of go back a little bit and talk about the documentary that you're making. Like, is it
Yeah.
so? Like most documentaries have sort of like a narrative, kind of like. Is it all done through your eyes, Brandon, or is it like
It's a mixture of Apollo.
is-
I mean, really, it kind
Okay.
of cultivates from what Apollo's turned into in the last year and a half, to be honest. We're not even 2 years old, and how the community came together and just kind of seeing how it orchestrated from just this, this punk anthology that, when it was still just a podcast
Oh yeah, yeah.
into this
Yep.
crazy thing, dude. We have like 14 books published. That's not including half of the stuff we're doing right now or what we've announced for this year. The league and the impact we've had on the community, and just like where it goes from a seed of an idea of like what I had into this giant thing.
So it's kind of like Spinal Tap or Best in Show, but comics.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly, dude. Yeah.
Nailed it.
But there's so many cool things we want to like homage and do. Like, I don't know if you guys ever saw like Kiss documentaries from like the 80s or 90s.
No,
But,
what
there
do
was a
they
Kiss
do in those?
documentary.
Like I've seen
gotta
like
look up
Kiss and the
Kiss
Phantom in the
Exposed.
park and all that crap,
Yeah.
but like I've
Dude,
never seen
look
one of
up-
their documentaries. I would watch it though. I'd totally watch.
You got to
that.
look up Kiss Exposed. It's probably
Okay.
on YouTube. It's so cool. We're gonna rip off the intro. We're gonna do an homage to it. I'm super excited, and it's just
Nice.
like one of the funniest things. I grew up with stuff like with music documentaries and whatnot, so like that's just what we were kind of very much inspired by to even try this idea. But I mean, so the first few days is like promoting and launching a Kickstarter for a week. And then Wednesday, we're doing an in-store event at Four Color Fantasies here in my shop in Winchester, who was an Image Comics Select Realtor winner. They were like one of the best in
really?
the country, so they got the award. Yeah, super
Oh,
exciting.
cool.
And we're going to interview the shop and like, table all day there, me, Kai Brown, and Javi Martinez. And then Thursday, we're going out to Washington, D.C. because I live, not too far from it. We're going to flyer, pass stuff out. We have the book, This Comic Kills Fascists, which just seems very appropriate to go pass out flyers for, and for the new
Yeah.
anthology as well. So we're super hyped to like have Eric Allred, Anton Blake, my girlfriend Lex, and just like Javi Martinez, all of us go out there and just promote the books, get some food, hang out. Mark Bernal, we're going to meet back up with. And so talk to Mark for a bit from Lesser Known Comics. And then Friday, we hit the road, hang out, drink and draw, do a one-day con, come home on Sunday. Then we have the last of the guests there Sunday night. Everyone heads home Monday. Tuesday, the Kickstarter ends. So like we're doing all these components that indie creator does in just a week that, someone would do in like a year.
And you're going to
And-
kind of like, you document this all the way through. Is like, that's cool. Is it like when you do an interview, are you going to be like focusing in on like what an indie creator does and what is what makes you indie creator, that kind of thing?
Kind of going back to the ethos of the first book we did of like, what does punk rock mean to you? Like, what does punk mean to you? That was a question. What does punk mean to you? And we got all these variety of things. And so kind of taking that same simplified question, but spreading it across these creators.
But like, what does indie mean to you kind of thing? Is that like the basis of it? Yeah, that's
perfect
cool.
timing with, anthologies being put together, Indie Creator Con, comic art fans being integrated with it, and like us knowing CAF, and just we're at like a good sweet spot of connections and people, and everyone we're seeing this week is like we have everyone here.
You know what would be a good hook for this? I'm like everything you're saying is great, but I'm like thinking, how you could drive the documentary and just tell me to fuck off if it's a stupid or whatever. But like, but I'm like start the documentary with like, we're doing something crazy. We're going to do a Kickstarter for a week. Can we make this in a week? And then you kind of do it like that. Like, here's the week of what I'm doing in indie, with what Apollo is doing. And then each day is this thing, and like,
that's a big part
at the end of each day, show the amount, like almost like do it like, can he make this goal by Sunday? And if it doesn't, like, I think it'll fund, but like,
I think it'll fund. Yeah.
We have a pretty reasonable goal too. We give ourselves $500 to be like, all right, let's I'm sure we can hit this. You know what I mean?
Do the drama like the last day, like have it still like, even if you fund it, have the last day
a little bit.
Still like $20 shy or something, and then like have it end as you guys are like, funding it or something, you know, and it's just like
And just all of us messaging people the link, like all of our phones going up,
Yeah.
and sending it to 20 people, you know. Like we just dude, that was the horror anthology, man. That was we really wanted to hit 80 backers. We hit 77, and it's those final hours where you're just like, I'm texting everybody to be like, just back this right now,
Yeah.
please. Like we want to hit this, and it's a struggle. It's
hell yeah.
crowdfunding's rough, like so.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Speaking of Kiss, I don't want to get too far away from Kiss, but aren't you working on another project with like Gene Simmons and Meet Spawn or something, and Spawn?
Yes,
or,
yeah.
Wait,
I'm working on a bootleg comic. Because
nice.
my great friend Jeremy John Hansen.
I remember you were a good Kiss fan, a big Kiss fan. So
yeah, I love
great.
Kiss. I love it so much. I just grew up with Kiss. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
I'm
it's
on
just,
a
like,
bad
ingrained in my
fan
body and
too.
soul. And so like Jeremy John Hansen, he actually does this book, the broadcast dialogues with me. This is gonna be the first time I'm gonna have it in print. Is at the show, cool little 8-pager that we put together. Bob Little did the colors, Max Flowers letters. But he did a cool Spawn drawing, and I was like, dude, that's super dope. We should show Thomas Healy. He's the editor of Spawn, and I'm buddies with Thomas. And so like we got Thomas's attention, and Thomas was like, well, do you have more images of Spawn? You know, we like to see some, extra stuff. And he's like, what can we put together? And I was like, dude, let's do a bootleg comic. Because I was looking at Monty Keane's bootleg Spider-Man, and I'd seen people like hint towards bootleg stuff lately, especially Cosmic Lion and whatnot, cool stuff. And I was like, I want to do a bootleg comic, but like, what would I do? What's interesting to me? And then he shot me the Spawn thing, and I was like, dude, Spawn and Gene Simmons, and we'll call it the Damons, because Damon is good or evil, not just one. And so it's going to be Spawn and Gene Simmons teaming up, and they're going to fight a bunch of like demons. They're going to fight like Etrigan. And they're gonna go get like Bob from Twin Peaks, and like just like go down all the line of like Constantine villains and whatnot. Like we just want to fight a bunch of demons and whatnot, but with Spawn and Gene Simmons together, because that was the thing.
They both have equally long tongues.
Yeah, like it just, when I was a child trying to understand music and stuff, my dad could only explain it as it's rock and roll. Like when I first saw Boobs for the first time in like a magazine, and he was just like, what is this? And he's just like, it's rock and roll. Like, why are these guys dressed up like girls? Motley Crue, I don't get it. It's rock and roll. You know what I mean? It just like made sense. And so like Kiss and Gene Simmons, I saw them and I was like, oh, this just it makes sense.
Kiss and comics.
Did you guys
well together? It's like peanut butter and chocolate,
Yes, dude. Yeah.
Do you guys remember back in the day?
Gene and Spawn, I'd buy that.
Of course.
Yes, Dr. Bass, love it.
No-brainer.
Thanks for being here, man.
Do you guys remember growing up watching Super Friends? There was a special. Oh, go ahead.
Just leave Mr. Potato Head.
There was a Super Friends episode of these rock aliens. The episode was called Rock and Roll Space Bandits. Basically, it's like a space rock and roll alien group, and they flew a spaceship that looked like an electronic guitar, and they would shoot like musical. Super Friends, yeah, it's an awesome. I don't know why I remember this, but and then they shot Superman and Wonder Woman and Batman in space with this like musical beam, and they're like frozen in space, and then they went to Earth and they played their rock and roll music, and the music or hypnotized all the humans. You know what I mean? They were frozen. I forget how they got out of it, but it's a pretty. It's called Rock and Roll Space Bandits. If you want to look it up,
it's amazing. I'm totally gonna watch that tonight.
I was gonna say, it wouldn't be the first time McFarlane and Kiss crossed paths, because they worked together during Psycho Circus.
Yes, that's where I was like a kid buying those. I had those action figures, and I was really upset because they were so flimsy. Like if you try to do much with them, as a kid, they were not meant for me and Ellen.
It's Scooby Doo movie. Yeah, I remember that.
That's actually really cool. It is really cool, actually. I saw it. But
they go so well with comics. So I could see you using them.
Yeah, that's I mean, we were just talking at the very beginning about being inspired and everything. And as Apollo's been so wild the last few months and just back to back, I haven't been writing a whole lot, and that's what I've been really into drawing. Like Spilled Ink has really got me to when we watch TV at night, I'm just drawing and we're hanging out, And so it's like I've kind of distanced myself from writing, which is such a shame, because that's what got me into all this and made all this, and I have all these cool series I could do. Tanner Ogle just popped in. My scripts.
Travis,
so many scripts.
Travis.
Okay, cool.
What's going on,
buddy?
buddy?
I love Travis. We'll be doing some cool stuff with Travis and Tanner coming soon. I'm really excited.
Very cool.
But like stuff like that pops up. We've had so many creators on board with Apollo this past year. It's gonna. That's why IC3 is so exciting. We have about half the team there. We have 9 of us there. There's about 20, almost 25 of us in Apollo right now. It's like official.
Really?
Apollo
Wow.
City citizens. Yeah.
Impressive.
Yeah. From
That's
here,
awesome.
we have people across the states. We have a creator in France. We have a creator in the UK. And so we've been kind of spreading this year. Yeah, we have a lot of announcements coming out this whole year and stuff.
Congrats, man. That's awesome. This is like what grassroots and indie is about. Like, you know, you find those like-minded people, put them all together, and just put out cool shit. That is indie, you know.
Yeah, that's why like we have like Eric Allred doing these cool trailers for our Kickstarters.
Hells yeah.
Tanner,
Super Brothers are in the house.
Yeah, what's going on?
We have such a cool team because everyone is so devoted to pushing not just the brand, but like the ethos of Apollo, which is just to make comics and support each other in the community. Like there's no, there's nothing that's competition with us. All of us do our own spectrum of things. Yeah, no egos. Like we're all very same. Everyone's treated the same. There's no favorites. And we have such a Fight Club mindset in the sense of like, your involvement just depends on how much you want to do. You choose your own level of involvement by doing things. Like, Eric Allred and Javi Martinez became super integrated with me, Alex, and Max because they just showed up and just started working and just provided stuff. And Eric was providing film and Javi's doing editing and formatting and, working on projects with editing. So it's just like, it's kind of crazy. Everyone just dives in and we don't pull from their own projects, like do what works best for you. It doesn't matter if you're doing more than another creator, you're part of the community with us. And which is why it's kind of contained. I hate to brag about Apollo and then be like, we're not taking a lot of new creators right now, but it's because it's so little of us, you know what I mean? Managing it is really wild.
There's a certain bond that you have to have as a team as well. So you have to kind of limit that in that regard. And so,
I was going to say that's not a bad thing, Brandon. It's more like, all of these people in and out. When you let somebody else in, you got to kind of want to get to know them first before you let that.
We've learned our lessons with that too. Like there's been a couple instances with a few creators where we're just like, you know what, this is just not going to work out.
Yeah.
Like it just doesn't vibe, or, maybe we got too excited too quickly. When you date someone way too fast and then 3 weeks.
Yeah. Right.
This is not. Oof, what did I do? How are we going to fix this?
Right.
When a raging ego appears, you're like, where did that come from?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Just controlling. It's
one of the
stuff.
Great community, but there is those people in the community that, I don't want to say they just have a little red flags. You know what I mean? Sometimes they're better off in their own. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They have their own group and their own community they can find where they actually flourish, and just because they didn't flourish 100%. With us and mesh with us doesn't mean that they can't do well with someone else. Exactly. I've seen creators that I just cannot work with, but they're doing their own thing and I'm happy for that because that means they didn't give up. That means they just kept on being like, all right, well, I'm gonna keep trying until I figure it out. And that's what we're all doing when it comes down to it.
We're kind of all alone at the end of the day, but the more friends you have, that makes it easier. You know what I mean?
A lot of it's sandbox rules.
Right.
100%, it's literally, you want to play in my sandbox, you have to be cool about it. Be respectful of that Tonka truck, but you can chill out here and play in this sandbox. Right? It's literally indie comics.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? There's a couple of things in the comics I'll just address really quick. Someone asked about sketch cards earlier.
And then someone's saying you printed. Was this for you? They said Oh wow, okay.
It looks like they went through CWS to their.
Oh, that's awesome.
I threw this up on the CWS.
Oh, you did? Okay.
YouTube.
That's
cool.
I
figured out I could do that. I definitely
absolutely.
Cool. But no, it's really great whenever we get to help creators go through that process, and that's what I'm doing more of CWS too now. Is I'm kind of. The shows are slowing down. I'm doing Spilled Ink every week. Inspired Ink is kind of slowing down a whole lot because of bandwidth and these new initiatives that we're slowly announcing. Brand Comics, a new thing. We're helping the Lupus Foundation. We're actually trying to make comics for this nonprofit so they could promote things and actually gain attention, and using the power of comics to gain attention to their cause and make it, better, more digestible and attractive for people to do. So that's a new little initiative that we're slowly launching, and we're having creators apply so we can see their portfolio. And what we're doing is we're trying to find nonprofits and businesses to like help them promote their whatever they need to, dentists, hygiene, how-tos and things like that through comics. And we're going to be hiring, we're going to be actually hiring creators to draw these and artists to draw this. You have a consultation, we kind of do some thumbnails, get concepts, and then we try to find the right artist that fits them. So
that's
Brand
awesome.
Comics is a really cool new thing we'll be doing. I forgot how I started talking about that because of sketch cards, but you can order sketch cards soon. We're doing like a trial run for IC3, and then we're going to be moving into that.
I'll definitely be getting a handful of those foil covers soon from you guys.
We're going to be opening this application to a live link very soon. If it's not already in our link tree, it should be going live within the next week. I think there's probably just some tweaks. If it's not in our link tree and our Instagram or anything, or even on, I think YouTube, we have our link tree link there too.
Oh, cool. Very cool, dude. Yeah, I'm glad. See, and
awesome.
Is that something that you came up with for CWS or did
Dan Hills, our CEO,
okay.
this is something he's been working on and cooking up.
I was gonna say kind of out of the box thinking, which I think
yeah,
cool,
it's one of those things we realized over the past year. We had the transition that was wild, we recovered from it, we kind of settled in, and we're like kind of blending into some things now and getting more bandwidth. But like as we're getting more bandwidth and we realized what the shows were doing and what like my whole drive was with the company, and me making comics and just being really like in the trenches with everybody and getting feedback, and then just talking to like so many people. When we were doing spotlights, we talked to like 60 creators in just like 4 months. And we had to stop that show for a number of reasons, but like what we did was like take in all that feedback, and we just really wanted to analyze, like, are we just a printer, or are we something that can be a lot bigger? Like, what can we offer creators that, like, I mean, sure, there's like other printers like Impressions and Mixam and so many other options that people can go to, but like, what can we provide and what do we provide? Like, we're promoting Kickstarters, we're actually trying to find ways to team up with them and figure out how we can navigate and funnel people to have successful Kickstarters. We're reevaluating our Kickstarter discount to make it tiered, to make creators kind of like have a drive to get more backers, so that
that's a great idea,
discounts and whatnot, and make it like gamify it a little bit more too.
That's
but
smart.
Like also educational, connecting creators with one another. We're going to be actually opening up a Discord channel so that you could actually cross promote and actually look for other collaborators.
Oh, very cool. I like that.
Just different ways. We just want people to like make comics and make comics for everything, for themselves, and then find a way to actually make money off of it, and have some side income through Brand Comics and how we can promote and push that brand. So it's a slow moving thing. It's very new, so it's kind of crazy.
But you guys are very much a for creators by creators kind of situation here, and that's great. I think that's because you guys know the struggles, so how to help in those struggles, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and that's what's so fun about like doing what I do with Apollo, is that like it's so integrated into like what I do as a day job. I take all the feedback from my creators, and sometimes it's like a blurry line not to mix the two, and sometimes you can get in the way of one another, but like overall it's interesting, because then when we think about a new product, when we think about how to get attention of something, or how to approach even a newsletter, or like just all sorts of stuff, I'm there to give insight, and I've heard insight from everybody. Another thing about like CWS is like it's a company that was like kind of handed to us in a way. Greco owned it for so long, and since it became under ownership with Dan, we're kind of figuring out ways to be like, we can be so much more. We could actually be helping people. I mean, we're trying to find ways for more indie people to get their work out there and showcase. And I've been even doing consulting work with like a lot of creators. It's just like helpful tips on printing, how to get the best value discount. We do so many discounts and weird things that like not everyone realizes that they're missing on the rewards, on referral codes to get discounts. But even just advice on their Kickstarters. Apollo's had 8 successful Kickstarters. I collaborated on a few. So I've emailed like creators, or creators will email me, and we'll set up a short meeting where I can kind of give them some advice to find success in what they're doing. Because it's just kind of rad that way too. And that's like, my job is where I get to get people to just do well.
Yeah, right. Like, consult on Kickstarters.
Yeah.
But I think that's also what sets CWS apart from other printers, is that you guys are building this community like with a lot of resources and a lot of help for the indie creator. Like if someone just today decided that they wanted to make a comic, they could go to the CWS site and get a lot of help, like immediately. Like, because you guys have a lot of, if I remember right, you have a lot of links to how to make a comic script, how to outline a story, things like that.
And we're going to be doing that in a bigger scale soon too. We were trying to do a thing called CWS, or CWS University, and do this whole thing where we could do lessons. And because like our team is so small, there's 8 of us, we're kind of starting off with newsletters right now. So if you're subscribed to our newsletter, you're actually now getting a lot of helpful tips and insight from the community directly. Like I'll ask questions in our creator hub on Instagram, I'll do polls, and I'll get everyone's feedback, and then I'll put that in the newsletter. And that way you're getting like the how-tos for like tabling, just small insight, what we found success in by tabling too. And like we really want to show like the life, like how we're doing with this documentary. We really want to showcase that life of an indie creator, because you're running a business, you're running your own pop-up shop every time you table, and you're technically competing for every dollar out there. You're not competing in the sense of who has the best comic and that sorts of competition, but like you need to make money when you're tabling. How are you going to make it harder for people to decide from one person to another? Which it gets kind of, competition filled in that sense, but in a good way, but
I was just going to say, like, you just got me thinking there, competing for dollars. And it very much is like that, but it's so little competing with all the other creators and more or less like catching your audience, catching the person that connects specifically to your creative voice, right?
Yeah,
right. Yep.
And if you're not showcasing
catching dollars, I think.
Table,
no, I think it's also like because of the catching dollar aspect of it, it makes you be more creative too, because you want to try and do something that's different than anybody else is doing, So to make a new niche for yourself, you gotta be different than anybody, or somehow stand apart from everybody else to get noticed. But even though there's like so many people doing so many different things, it's hard to stand out, really, I would imagine.
Well, I feel like a lot, like when we go to IC3 this weekend, I'm going to see a tons of different comics, like, in all kinds of genres, like, so I guess like
great and all different.
Yeah, right. It's what speaks to you, like, as
I fully expect if you go to IC3 as a creator and you don't leave humbled by the amount of creators around you, then I don't know, you might be doing the wrong thing, pal.
Or inspired too.
Or inspired. Well, that's what I mean. Like, you have to be humbled and inspired by everything. Like,
if you leave spiteful, you got to reevaluate stuff. But I mean, you're totally right. Like, not every comic is meant for everybody. Like Apollo in itself, we have a punk rock anthology. We have all this stuff. Like, I'll show you some of the new books we have right now. We have the broadcast dialogues. We have a sci-fi adventure.
Okay.
We got sci-fi adventure right over here. This is actually the new book, Kick Out the Jams, Motherfucker, which is it's actually censored. But this is super rad, because this is part of the Kickstarter. I actually already got some of it printed. Kick Out the Jams is just like a really great homage to like music, and it's filled with a whole variety of stuff.
It looks like those old zines people used to make too. I love that.
Yeah, dude, it is. I mean, it's filled with great stories. Mark Bernal, Tanner Rosmaria. Tanner actually colored my story in here. It's a really cool Robert Johnson story. Yeah. This comic was fascist. Well, actually, before I go, this one is going to be one of the books in our dual Kickstarter as well, with one-hitters. I don't have one-hitters with me, but that's our Stone.
Yeah, we're gonna look at that next.
Yeah, we'll have to pull that up.
And I have This Comic Goes Fascist, our new political resource book. It's really awesome. I'm so hyped about this. There's comics in here. There's resources. There's essays. This is one of my favorite things that we've made so far. I actually did the cover. I was really hyped about that.
Oh, nice. It came out pretty good.
I was super hyped. Yeah, this one's black and white. It is just almost like 40 pages, dude. This is really cool.
Wow.
Very, very on brand for Apollo.
Yeah, I like that. Love that back cover.
Teenage Babylon I have now in like a larger format. It's a zero issue, about 12 pages.
So you're going to be selling all of these this weekend?
Yes, I'll have all of these this weekend, except for we'll be promoting the campaign. You'll find Outer Space Boys, Ben Collins and Eric Allred over in right across from Johnny. So I'm hyped for that. But also to promote the Kickstarter, I'm gonna have this foil poster from the High Adventures of Weed Wizard and Bong.
Oh yeah, you were telling us about that.
Look at that!
I'm so hyped about that.
Oh,
yeah, that looks
dude, that is gorgeous.
Evan McGuire is so awesome.
I like Bong Boy so much. The design's amazing.
Their first story is in One Hitters, the Weed Anthology. So actually, we have something really excited for the campaign this week. When you go to IC3, what's going to happen is that we have a map, and all these creators are going to have a map that are in on this, which is, me. We'll start at the beginning. Javi Martinez, Tanner Teogor. You have to go find them. You got to find Ben Collins and Eric Allred, the Outer Space dudes. You got to find Evan McGuire hanging out at his table, and then you have to go to Rick Lopez at the Cosmic Lion Island because he's also involved in this Kickstarter. All of us are going to have these like totems. It's going to be like eye drops and like a lighter and like a grinder and some cash, and then you have to take them to the Apollo City Comics table. Ask for the bud tender, Lex, and she's going to hand you a little thing of felt weed. It's going to be like this little mock weed that we make. And so you're going to get a baggie, and then you get a QR code. Depending on the strain you get, indica, hybrid, or sativa, you'll get a preview of one of the stories in the anthology and a link to the Kickstarter to help promote it. And so, we're really, really hyped about that.
That is genius. I love that.
All the scams are
Oh, that's such a brilliant idea, dude. Awesome.
I'm super hyped. We have really cool people doing all this with us. So, and I'm so happy to put Rick Lopez in the book. I love that dude. Cosmic Cat, he's gonna have this really rad new edition, just all the completed stories, and he has this really cool hologram cover for it that he got from CWS. Like his stuff is going to be really fun to check out at IC3. But yeah, I'm hyped to have him in the anthology. He has a really fun 2-pager of Cosmic Cat in the Stoner Anthology One Hitters.
Very cool, dude. Any other thing you want to shout out for IC3 that wasn't mentioned yet? And then we'll I think you covered
I'm gonna be filming. Yeah.
Drink and Draw on Friday night.
Don't forget to bring tablecloths. Don't forget to bring tablecloths.
I always
if you're
have
a creator,
one with me.
Bring tablecloth. I remember I got the email. Sometimes emails get missed. If you're watching, don't forget to bring a tablecloth.
Yeah, I always have one with me.
Actually, what size are the tables even? I forget.
6? I think they're 6 feet.
It might be 6.
Don't forget to bring a
on
6-foot tablecloth, kids.
Yeah. I always try to bring one just in case.
CWS, we have, some cool stuff that we're doing there too. Some really cool stuff. In fact, like the blue line paper I draw on every week on Spilled Ink, we're going to have samples at every table for the creators so they could try it out, check out for their own to have a sample of the blue line paper. And we're going to have a fun spinner wheel at the CWS booth. And so you're going to have all these prizes that you could win and everything. Oh, and cool. One of them, we're going to have one grand prize winner who's going to be gets a free pack of the blue line paper, and then you're going to also be able to enter a raffle, and we're going to draw the raffle winner probably Monday or Tuesday, but then we're going to mail that raffle winner a pack of blue line paper as well. So we're going to be getting out supplies, lots of new sample packs that we'll have there for people who are curious. A new sample pack we put together, which is super exciting. And probably some freebies, a lot of freebies at that table. Stickers. We got some leftovers from the Baltimore con I found in a box, so I'm going to give some of those away. But yeah, come just hit the spinner wheel and just hang out for a second. We're going to have a little, if you could draw a sketch, you get a raffle, cool stuff.
I put I sent 100, sticker sets for Mighty Mascots, but it also for their swag bag for the first 100 people that are coming in. It also has a nice QR code for not only Indie Comics Relay, the YouTube channel, to subscribe, but also has a QR code so you can read Mighty Mascots #1 free on Global Comics. So
that's cool.
Ooh.
Nice.
Real quick, I just realized I left this out. I have one more thing we'll have at the Policy Comics table. It's Corpse Flower mini comic. This is a little mini. Let me see if I can go focus.
Oh yeah,
literally mini.
Yeah, Keith, can you make it big? There we go.
Make the mini big.
Yeah. Let's see if that'll focus there. Yeah, Corpse Flower. I drew this. It's a story that my girlfriend Lex and I are working on. So I drew a little
love
mini
stuff
comic
like
for
that,
it.
Brandon. It's great.
So I'm really excited. It's a new book that she's writing, and I'm working on the story with her.
You guys are doing it together. That's cool.
Yeah,
I like that.
And Max Flowers,
excellent
be
reference.
drawing it. So
I knew you'd get it, Harry.
I heard it. I got it.
Thank you, Keith.
But yeah, no,
Right.
I cannot wait for this show. So yeah, I'm pumped. I'm already packed, ready to go, and can't wait.
Yeah, I'm super psyched.
super excited. Yeah,
But yeah, let's take
say
a
we-
look at your
we get-
Kickstarter here. Did you want to give us a
Oh, yeah.
preview of the campaign? Like
I'd
can
love
pull up
to
the-
dig into the campaign page because I mean you have 2 books here that you're outlining, and there's a lot that you guys are
Yeah,
going to
you
be
must have a preview
doing in
page that
such a
we
short
can
period
show.
of time.
yeah. I'm
So
gonna show you guys this one we have up.
we probably need to stress
You
the
can share your
importance of
screen if you
backing this
want,
book.
and then I can let you take over. Or
There we go. Can you guys see
let
the
me
Kickstarter page right now?
Let me see. I'm not seeing anything yet. Is it in the?
Let me see here. Because you cannot. Oh, I can't access my screen. Oh, okay, cool. Let me see this real fast. No wonder.
Oh, if you can't,
Um,
we can just look at the landing page. But
Yeah, we can. I mean, Keith, if you want to pull up the landing page in the meantime,
yeah, let
that
me
way
do
we can kind of take a peek at it. And
Yeah.
because the landing page does show the 2 different books that are going to be available. So, yeah, look at double feature. There you go. And one of them's punk rock, and one of them's for stoners. You couldn't have a better example right here, kind of like prefacing and profiling
music
what
and
you-
weed.
yeah, what you can get into with these 2 books right here. This is very cool.
I love it.
Yeah, this is
great.
it's one of those things where we had all these music stories that were just kind of like laying around. Nobody had a real home for them. And some of them hadn't even been published yet. So, we kind of just realized we could just have an anthology sitting waiting for us. And all of us were trying to make like a preview for a stoner story for IC3. And then we're like, we just have an anthology in front of us. So we thought we'd put them together. Kick Out the Jams is 40 pages. And One Hitters is about 24. So both of them are packed with cool stuff. We're doing all these extra goodies inside of them. We'll be making stickers. We're probably gonna do a poster for everything too. But also these covers were both done by Eric Allred. So like the Kick Out the
cool.
Jams one, he printed out the stories, put them on a wall, and kind of ripped it up to give it that tear feel, and took like a really high res photo, and then added actually made the letters and put them on and everything. And then the One Hitters, that's a bunch of it's like what you put on like a light to make it different colors. I can't think of the name right now. But he wrapped it all that up and filled up these tracing papers with to make it look like a joint, and then kind of lit it on fire a little bit to get that texture. And then he used felt to literally spell out the One Hitter's title. And
Oh,
then
really?
he just did this is all just touched up digitally, but this
Oh,
is
wow.
all DIY created covers. Eric already killed it with these.
Very
yeah.
cool.
That's cool.
And then the
Very
trailers
cool
you see
and
for the
different,
horror
too.
show, and
Yeah.
we have a bunch of trailers and social media short clips for this campaign this week. Go see them everywhere once we launch it. But he filmed all those and did the edits and everything. So
Oh, so cool.
Very, very cool. Is there a premiere tier that you're going to kind of position for people to kind of check out and back that you can kind of
yeah, we I mean really the dual one, and then we have the sticker pack. The sticker pack seemed to be really cool because we're just going to toss a bunch of Apollo branded stickers in there, so you're getting both books and just a bunch of fun cool stuff. I love getting
Nice.
stickers and freebies. But we're making it a pretty simple campaign since it's just a week. We're offering all the Apollo books in general, no matter what. But and we always throw in goodies, no matter. We like surprising people. So
nice.
Great stuff.
yeah.
So the One
Nice.
Hitters, is it just one? It's one stories, or is it one
Yeah.
pagers, or?
They're all just singular stories. So you have 4 pages of the High Adventures of Weed.
I gotcha.
Boy. You have 2 pages from Rick Lopez and Outer Space. I think is a 4-pager preview, which is pretty exciting. And then Javi Martinez has a 6-page story that was supposed to make it in the horror anthology. It just didn't fit with the rest of the book. So that's really where this idea came from. Was we need a horror
okay.
stoner anthology because we need one for Javi's story. It's called Evil Bong. and it's so awesome. It is.
Nice.
We have
Love
Javi's
that.
zine that just came out. We just did a soft release on our website at apollo-citycomics.com, and so he'll be selling that this week too. So I'm really proud of him.
Oh, so cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I had the preview so we could dig into it a little more. But if you don't, that's fine. We could just talk about.
But like you said, it's launching tomorrow, correct?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, tomorrow 10 a.m. Eastern. I mean, you'll be able to pop right in and check it all out. And like the trailer's already uploaded right now.
What are you doing?
500. Easy 500.
That should be able to hit that, no problem.
Yeah, get both books for $20. That's the basic tier. And if you just want
drama of the documentary,
drag it out.
You only make $10 a day, and then maybe the last day it's like, oh my god, we gotta get like $300, and then all of a sudden, ding ding ding, right at midnight, or right 2 minutes before midnight, boom, funded.
We should do the trailer like that. We should just make a super short dramatic film out of it, and like we could totally spin that off. I'd be down. Eric will love that.
But you could use that as the reason I said that, you can use that as the backbone to drive how an indie creator's daily things go, especially
paranoia
where you're like setting up like you can be just like, I can't believe we're doing just a week or something, put it on one of your creators saying he wants to do a week, like
just the phone calls to stress.
Right. Dude. Just
I mean,
you think of it like King of Kong, like how it was always like this, the whole drive of that documentary is which one's gonna win, which one's gonna beat the Donkey Kong score and stuff. You could do something like that. I don't know, just throwing it out there.
I love it. Really love it. I mean, that's the thing too. Like, dude, these books kind of came out of nowhere. We thought of this in like late January, like early February, and then we were just like, we threw together this page so fast in like 2-3 weeks. The team was just like hacking away on it and splitting everything up. Like, it was just it wouldn't have happened without a team, And that's the coolest part about it, is that we're just seeing this culmination of just books being spat out from, we spat out This Comic Was Fascist this year, the horror anthology, which is huge. That book is like 100 plus pages. Right, and they're still taking late pledges too, so people want to,
Oh, okay, good. That's why I thought was going on with it, so that's why I brought it up.
We do late pledges for a month, and then we put it on, pre-order on the website at that point as well.
Okay.
I love that you guys do the early bird as well, because that really just motivates people to back right away. Are you going to be doing it for tomorrow's campaign as well?
It's too short. We thought about it, you know what I mean? But we were just like, we got to make every backer count at this point, and it's such a just a slim line just to like figure that out. And I mean, it's all a learning lesson,
For sure.
We'll see how it goes. Yeah.
On one hand, it's good for the backer, because that means you don't have to rush to get the best value per se.
Right.
Gives you a little bit of time, but also, you don't want to miss out either, because it's only a week. So,
because then it's like, do we do it for certain days, like the day of our events? You know what I mean? Like, you could curate stuff like that with Kickstarter too. And, I think with the hecticness of everything, we just want to see if we can do it and pull it off this first time. But maybe we're going to be doing these more too.
So it's a very interesting thing, because like, as I think more about it, as we're talking about it too, I mean, there's a lot of things that you have to really consider. You have to consider the fact you guys are traveling. So that only gives you so much to be able to bandwidth to tweet or to post on social media about, right?
Yeah.
But then you also have to be very mindful of Kickstarter's algorithm, so that you have to participate and push enough so that you're riding that wave as well.
Yeah.
And then you also have to do a convention.
Yeah. While we're filming it all,
feed yourself and sleep and try to survive as a normal human being.
Yes,
and it all feels almost all insurmountable the more you talk about it. But also, it goes to show it's a testament for the love of the craft and what we got, what you guys do and what we all do here in Indie Comics. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
And it's like the excitement of just being around, like we were saying, all of our friends, you know what I mean? I'm so excited. 100%. I've interviewed so many people that are IC3. I've drawn with so many people who are IC3. It's going to, I mean, so many friends, Apollo people that I'm super close to, but I've never met are going to be there. Like, it's going to be overwhelming just from that fact alone. So getting more, I guess, dopamine out of it is going to be pretty crazy. be really high like Saturday night. Like Friday night.
I'm with
It's
you, bro. I'm with you.
oh, yeah, that's gonna
I'm
be-
with you.
I'm
We'll,
so
we'll get a
tired.
pre-roll going. Like I
Yes,
said, I
yeah.
got some ideas from our last interview. I'd love to pitch at you.
Yes, I'm fucking down. I mean, and that's the cool part too, is like, you know, just being able to talk to people face to face is so exciting and valuable. And I love making these connections, these relationships with creators, because like, you know, Apollo wouldn't be what it is without everyone's support and what you guys have done for us and just the exposure and just this, you know, overall community. So it's like giving a few minutes of your time and like being able to enjoy someone, you know, just so well. That's hype. You know, people forget about that. You know, being with people and being in this environment where, you know, most of us got picked on when we were kids in high school and middle school for liking this stuff, and now we're
Well, I was
like,
gonna say, don't you
Yeah.
think, going back to Kiss, don't you think that artists and writers and creators are the new rock stars of today? Because because today, like now, we're being appreciated for what we, because like that's what's big now, like the indie stuff, like.
well, most of like these creators I talked to were all musicians for the most part. So we like all retired into comics, and it's kind of the best thing you could do, because going to a con is like going on tour but without the whole band. So yeah, it makes it a little
That's
easier.
true.
Not so much drama.
Yeah, absolutely. Travis said con conversations hit different. That's
Yeah.
true. I mean,
Yeah.
just look at this
I mean,
weekend at Northeast.
I was just
talked
gonna
with
say,
the
I had
Ogle
a-
brothers for like a half hour at least.
I had a good conversation with those guys too, and I left very motivated and
I
inspired.
love
And
those guys.
yeah, like
They're the best.
things I talked about with the Ogle brothers haven't left my head since. I'm like, okay, we have to
That's
figure out a way to make that work, because again, like I said at the top of the show, you know, when you go to these things, you go to these events, and you're around other creators, it's so inspiring and it's so motivating, and it lights that fire to make you want to do more. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. And I mean, it's kind of nonstop too, because, you know, so it's insane, dude. So Apollo did the release in January, which was technically this comic was fascist, the broadcast dialogues, but I haven't really promoted that enough. And then we did the horror anthology. We're doing this 1 week Kickstarter. And then at the end of March, we did this book called Hyperforce with Adam Matthew Smith. I got to get him on your guys' show.
dope.
You guys will
Keith,
love
can you make him
Adam.
big?
Yeah,
let's do
yeah.
that.
Let me sorry. Zoning
So we
out
have
there
Adam
for a
Matthew
sec.
Smith, Hyperforce, really cool. It's like our '90s image, awesome dystopian, almost
Oh,
anti-hero
cool.
book. And so we had Jay Red, who did Incision and The Body, and trying to think of what else, a couple other books. But check out Jay Red on Instagram. But he actually took over art duties for issue 2. So we're launching issue 2 at the end of March. And I just saw some of the colored work from Bob Little. And dude, you guys are gonna love that book. That's the Hyperforce is gonna be hype. Swear.
Yeah.
Like it's really, I'm really proud to.
And you said it's like
work with Adam.
90s image. It's like 90s
Yeah,
image.
yeah.
That's
It's
cool. I
very
like
like
that.
it's noir, but like neon, like vibes and great, just
Yeah, I love
broken
stuff
down
like that.
heroes. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fun. It's on the spectrum for stuff. We don't
Neon
really have
noir.
superhero books, so it's like, yeah, dude, literally, that's a great word for it. Neon noir. Brand it like that.
Yeah.
Edit that Kickstarter page right now.
Well, that's the thing. You
Um,
don't see a lot of superhero books usually in the indie circles, so that's kind of
Mhm.
cool, you know?
Yeah. But yeah, just there's so much, dude. I mean, even this year we're releasing a book called Soul Catchers, which is we're gonna do a single issue release, and then we're gonna release the rest in a trade. And it's 5 stories, 5 issues technically, and so we have a different artist for every issue. And so Kai Brown wrote that. She's also launching It's Probably Nothing, which is gonna go probably in May, June. We have a French creator doing a book called Sugar Rush that'll be releasing this year. We're reformatting this creator, Willie Dean, who was in the horror anthology, but he does a book called Skullhead. I'm actually doing a cover for him for issue 8, but we're going to rebrand it under Apollo and bring it to the States because it's a UK kind of release at this time. And then we have in talks with Tanner and Travis about stuff. Apollo, I mean, I have.
Is there any downtime at all, or?
Dude, I really try.
You like
I really
ooze.
try.
You like ooze creativity. Like stop.
It's really just like producing a lot your books. You know what I mean?
No, that's
like
cool. That's fun. Keeps you
that's
busy.
the cool
like-
part about it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, it
it's.
Take a fraction of your drive,
energy,
Brandon, and
right.
get, like
I don't know where
I
it
have
came
a
from.
struggle
I don't know
getting
what-
like
Mhm. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing.
no, it's good. Like I'm trying
Yeah.
to get more out this year for sure. So we'll see how.
But after
See
a
how it
week like
shakes
this,
out.
when so much is going on, do you at the end of the week, do you think that does it feel like a blur, or
Yeah.
do you actually like? Yeah, right. Like, how do you?
Not gonna lie.
I mean, how do you enjoy any? I mean, I know the whole thing's enjoyable, but how do you enjoy, like really sit down and enjoy it? You know what I mean? It's like something's going on.
I don't know. I feel like I have really great conversations like with my girlfriend when we hang out at the end of stuff, and we kind of just reflect and just like bounce off of things. And both of us had such radical life changes at the same time.
I guess that's how the documentary helps too, in a way, right?
Yeah,
by recording it, you can have it right there in case you're miss anything.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Like just understanding. We have a great team too, so it's great that we're friends. So none of it feels like we're working. Every Wednesday night, me, Eric, and Javi, and some of these guys hang out, and we just like talk about life, and we just like talk about business and the comics and everything. And thank you.
It's like Samson.
So dope.
It's like Samson.
Samsonite.
And we're friends more than anything, and that's where it all comes from. I think we're really lucky that we really are. We're not just in business together. We're not just trying to make comics together. Like I have real good conversations with everybody. It's genuine.
You were mentioning your girlfriend. Cool. So is she a creator too? Is she working in comics?
She's like somebody that's always aspired to do stuff like this, but just like a lot of people, they don't know how to start. They don't know where to begin. And working with her has been really interesting because she has like it's kind of like exciting because it's when you had your first ideas and you're just like, I have this really crazy thing. I don't know how to make sense of it. And then you're helping make sense of it and seeing it come to life. So, and with a lot of creators I work with, they're like, well, this is the idea. I have it scripted, this is the artist. And then I just kind of manage and edit and, kind of make sure relationships are good and movements are good and advice and kind of insight on the process. But with her, it's like, oh man, like I forgot what it was like to take a crazy idea and remold it. It's kind of when you work on your own projects. And so it also shows me what I know about scripting. Like when you teach someone, like I didn't realize until I started working closer with her and some other creators. I'm like, oh, I think I know how to make anthologies pretty well. I think I know how to make comics pretty well. I'm pretty good at storytelling. I think I should offer this. And that's why I feel so confident giving advice on these things. And, if with CWS, I've kind of converted more, I hate to say it, but like sales in the sense of like, I'm meeting with people, I'm giving them consultations, I'm offering them a service, and I'm telling them ways to elevate what they do. And by working with us, you kind of get all those perks because you're printing with us.
Well, being knowledgeable about what you are selling in turn helps inform the sale itself. So in turn, that benefits you.
Yeah, it's not like you're giving them the hard sell. Like
no,
I'm not car selling them. Yeah, exactly.
How much to put you in this comic today? Like
but you know what though? Sometimes a little bit of that works. You just have to know what your audience is
and how,
when and who exactly. I mean, and that's the thing too, is people don't like the aggressive individual, but I've found a lot of success with the people who your book or something on your table catches their eye and they keep looking at it as they're walking away. And you're like, wait a minute, come back. And you have to sometimes be a little vocal about that. That can look like a hard sell,
throw other comics at them to get them to come back. And stickers and bookmarks.
Right, but you also want to bring them back in just because you want to have that combo. What caught your eye? What can I? You want to connect with them. You're right. Really, that's what it's about.
Yeah, absolutely.
I saw you on a different podcast. So between you and your girlfriend, she's more of the horror fan, and right, you're not a big horror fan. So
nice,
right? I don't like them myself either because they make me. I'm not they don't make me feel weird or scared. They make me feel. They make me angry, because like don't do like why are you running in the house? Now you're limited your
good neighbor. Good neighbor.
And if you
oh no, the neighbor's dead.
Like don't run upstairs. Oh no, it's Gene Hackman.
Too soon, Harry. Too soon.
Don't run upstairs and don't hide under the bed. And while you're hiding under the bed, don't cry audibly. They're gonna find you and kill you. I don't get it.
I'd be so bad.
Come packing, kid.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
No, I don't know. I'm a big horror fan, and I don't really agree with Harry. But
yeah, I know.
I'm not a slasher fan. Like I'm not into. I can't do slashers. They just don't get me. But like, I have a level of horror I've discovered I really enjoy. Like Sinister, the Insidious movies, like
Oh,
Midsommar, is
like
probably,
the
my favorite.
supernatural type.
Yeah, supernatural stuff, paranormal things. I really get into stuff like that. The Witch was a great movie. Like, I love
that's a
Nosferatu
great
and
one.
whatnot. Yeah, it's a cool one. Stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, or
But
even
those
just,
are
like,
also
really-
very good. Sorry, Brandon. I was gonna say those are also very good character descriptions. You know what I mean? Like character demonstrations. So it's a horror story, but it's a little bit more character driven stuff.
Yeah.
You know what you're getting.
The
Witch.
Yeah.
Witch.
At least A.
That's why Wicked. I can't watch that. That's just too scary for me.
Wicked?
There's more than one witch.
I can't do it. I watched the trailer for it. I'm like, what is
Too many
this?
witches.
Too many
witches.
Too many witches.
Too much singing.
Music.
Too much singing. Exactly.
Yeah, I have a band on musicals. I'm a musician and I love it, but I can't do musicals. It's just not my cup of tea.
I know.
Unless it's like a Mel Brooks thing, I can't do it. Like,
Yeah,
it's
or
very
like
dull.
Cannibal the Musical or something.
That'd be cool.
It's funny. It's like but with superheroes, everybody kind of has like their own more specific tastes. Like I like street level Punisher, Daredevil kind of things. Where like one of my very best friends, Rick. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my favorite shirt too with Daredevil on it. That's awesome. I had that shirt forever. I just wore it out. It was so good.
I got it at the thrift shop. I was super hyped.
I'm a
about
big
it.
fan of the 2-in-1 thing. 2 images in one. That's pretty cool. That's like the moon,
Yeah,
right?
same.
Yeah. I always
it's like
whenever I
Daredevil
used
on
to
the border.
I try to hide things. Yeah, that's cool. I like hiding things in my drawings sometimes.
But one of my best friends is a cosmic. He loves all the cosmic superhero stuff. So it's like, we all kind of have our different, we all like pie, but we all like different kinds of pie.
Yeah. Hereditary, super awesome. It's that type of
great
stuff.
movie.
There's a cat in my closet. I just heard a crash. And it was talking
that-
about scary movies.
that,
And then somebody crashed in my closet.
Was like the story. I saw you on a different podcast too, and you have a cat named T'Challa. That's a pretty cool story.
Yeah, he's right behind me. Just sitting. He's taking up my whole chair.
You should
dude.
share
Like,
that story. It's pretty cool.
He made a guest appearance on our interview that we did on the podcast.
Yeah,
there
right.
he is. What up, buddy?
just passed out. I've been sitting at the edge of my seat this entire interview.
Oh,
He's
'cause he's
taking up my
behind you?
chair. But yeah, he's right behind me.
Camouflage and
I woke him
Sure.
up and I upset him.
So,
Oh, he's
Harry, you
mad
said
now.
he had a what? A good
He'll
story.
get you back for that. Don't worry about it.
You have a good T'Challa story. How T'Challa got her name or his name? I'm not sure.
Oh, dude, yeah. I'll tell a really good abridged version.
That's a cool story.
T'Challa, like the reason why I named him T'Challa, he's so grumpy right now. We're gonna hold him for a second. He's gonna kill me later. He's gonna wake me up like at 4 a.m. Dude, I found him because he kind of jumped in front of me and my dogs one time when I was walking them in El Paso, and then I was walking with my friend Sam, and I was telling him about like this cat that jumped out of nowhere and whatnot, and then he did it again and he popped out. And then we were just like, no, dude, you can't hang out with us. And we put him over the fence and we crossed the street. Dogs are trying to take a shit in the grass and whatnot. And then we see him jump over the wall and go in the 4-way intersection that we crossed. And it was a red light. And I'd never seen so many cars in that street before, but there was like 14 cars in each lane. And this cat just jumped in the middle of the street. And we're like, dude, what do we do? Like, what do we do? Like, do we get the cat? Like, we can't take a cat. Why would I take a cat? And so the light is like ticking down. And I was like, Sam, go get him. And Sam goes and gets the cat. And we go and we take him home. And I'm like, so I'm take out my phone. And I'm like, what do you do with the cat when you find them stray? What do I do? And I'm like looking, and then you get distracted because you're on your phone and like Instagram and whatnot. And I was like, oh, wow, Chadwick Boseman died. Like, that's insane. But it was also Jack Kirby's birthday, the creator of Black Panther. And the same day, Chadwick Boseman passed away. And I also found a black cat. And I was like, dude, your name's T'Challa. You got some balls, dude. Like, you're a risk taker. You know what I mean? Like, you gamble your life away right now. So he's been my dude since I moved. He's my first cat. So he's cool. But he was raised by dogs. So, like, he's a weird cat. Like he's like, yeah, straight up universal cat distribution system.
I like
yeah,
that.
dude.
Yeah, right.
And so like him compared to like my girlfriend's cats are totally different. Like the way he sleeps, the way he acts, like, and now like I don't have a dog in the house anymore, but like he is the dog of the house right now. Like,
Trust me,
Well,
I'm
his
very-
name's T'Challa. He's a prince, so
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's
right.
to be treated as such. There's
Once my,
royalty. Yeah.
my dog
Trust
Spock,
me.
once
Oh.
he passed away, I was like, all right, man, you got graduated to God Emperor. You went from king and you just leveled up a bit. So that's God Emperor T'Challa. You took it to heart, you know? Like,
Yeah, that's awesome.
I was gonna say, trust me, I know everything about weird cats. I'm foremost
Oh, yeah.
expert.
yeah, they're insane, dude. All three of
Janus
them.
cats. Janus cats.
Yeah,
That's right.
Awesome. Hey, Johnny, I saw that you shared the.
Well, I was going to say, before we
wrap.
wrap up, I think it might be prudent that we pull up the map for the convention this weekend, and maybe we can kind of just point out for people where we all could be found.
Oh yeah, great
Ooh.
idea. But before we do that, Brandon, anything else you want to say about the Kickstarters and both of them? I'll share both links. I shared the one out for. Let me share the one out for the horror show since you're still collecting pledges on that.
Yeah. And it'll be available on our website in about a month once we really look at once we order everything. So we're really happy that everyone was able to back it. Really just fortunate. We hit a great number. We gave ourselves a higher goal in that campaign than ever before. So it was really cool to kind of hit that number. So really thank you to everybody who backed it. And you know what, speaking of maps, I could probably share my screen and I could show you the Apollo map that we have to show everyone too.
Yeah,
and
if you got it
cool.
ready there, let's take a look at that.
see if I
And
can
then
see if this works.
Because it
this
looks like there
time.
are clusters of consortiums at the show.
Yeah, so let's see if this works. Did this work? Can you see this map?
no, usually
Am I
another
doing
screen
it?
will
Oh,
pop
wait.
up. And
StreamYard is sharing a window. I don't know if it's sharing it though. No. Browser can't access your screen. Dude, what's with StreamYard and not working?
yeah, I don't know.
Let me just do my whole screen. I'm not doing anything
Okay.
conniving on it. Entire screen.
Will it let you do that?
Let's find out. I thought it would.
If not,
No, I guess
pull up the
StreamYard's
other-
like not working. No, it's just
Yeah.
not doing it. It's just not letting me do this. Wow.
If you want to pull up the link from the Substack, Keith, that's got like straight up the map of the show in 3 different layers.
Yeah.
So the main ballroom, the strip, and then
wait,
the,
are we
like,
talking about the
one in the private chat?
Oh, okay, yeah, I have that one.
Yeah, let's fire it up.
And then Brandon, you couldn't find the one with the no.
I wish I could
it's
just like
not
forward it to
working.
you or something. Yeah, for some reason, it's just not sharing my screen with it. It could be my computer.
Okay.
Let me see. Hey, what's your is your email like Plastic Flame something like that?
Let me share it in the private chat here.
Sure.
Hang
Or
on.
to like dish out your email in front of everybody to start
You're
spamming you and subscribing you to things, like, you know.
Or
I'll
you know, they can put you on mailing lists.
Yeah, right.
There you go. Yeah.
I get a
Yeah,
million
I'll share this
emails.
file with you, and that we can just pull it up in your Gmail real fast.
Awesome.
Okay, cool. Let me know when you send it off, and then we'll take a look at the map here. I gotta figure out where I am again before I know the general area.
Emails, Keith.
What's that? Million emails.
Rapidly emails.
I just sent it to you. You should have it.
Travis, send them tasteful nudes.
Love you, Brandon. Can't wait to
Oh yeah,
see you this
Rick Lopez, our
weekend.
boy.
Rapidly emails. All right, yeah. Hang on, I'll start looking for that. And then we'll look at both
Brandon,
of
do you have any particular exclusives or things you're bringing to the show, or kind of things you want to have people, keep an eye out?
Corpse Flower mini
Corpse,
comic,
yep.
and then of course the High Adventures of Weed Wizard and Bong Boy. We haven't priced it yet. It's because it's a foil poster, so we're trying to debate what's a good price for it. But yeah, it's a violet foil, which is really rad because it's the background.
cool.
So like it shows them smoking, so all their background is like kind of trippy and whatnot.
Yep.
But yeah, check
Are
those
those
out.
limited
and
and exclusive to the show, or just you're gonna kind of have them
we
there?
I have 15. Evan McGuire's gonna have 15, but I have an event on Wednesday, so I'm gonna be selling some then. So whatever I have left, is kind of it for those. I don't know if I'm gonna reprint them or not. The foil posters kind of get a little pricey sometimes, so it's one of those things we got to figure out as well.
So heads up, people.
All right, so here's the map
Yeah.
that
Nice.
we make it as big as possible here.
Yeah,
So-
Javi and Tanner.
Okay, so Harvey and so they're going to be right here at the end. Is that the entrance?
Yeah, right when you guys
So
walk
Johnny,
in.
you'll be
first,
right next to Tanner. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm right there. I'm WW1 right there.
Where is
Nice.
it? Where's
Yeah, so-
WW1?
Yeah, that green
That's-
table, the
It's
first
that
one.
first
Oh,
green
right
table.
here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
And these guys
So-
will be right there. Yes.
Yeah, so I'm literally to the right of the main entrance ticketing. I had a little bit like of like trepidations at first about being outside in the hallway, but like being this first green
Dude,
table
it's
is like
sick.
awesome. Yeah,
so wait,
it's a good spot.
is this the entrance to the show right
Yeah.
here?
Yeah,
Okay.
dude, it's the entrance to the show.
And
See
in
how the
these
panel
rooms-
right there?
Are these rooms all
Oh, yeah,
off in this
sweet.
hallway?
Yep,
all-
yeah.
Oh,
So
wow,
those are all
okay.
individual rooms. Yeah, so you have
So
people
Johnny,
leading
you'll
them
be
in.
right outside one of the
Yeah,
rooms.
dude.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's
that's not
really
a bad
awesome.
place to be.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow.
And then you
And then
have
we
to
got-
walk past all that to get to the main big ballroom.
Yep,
Yeah, so that's
Yep.
not bad, dude.
Yeah, no, I think it's great. I feel very lucky to have that spot. I think.
Yeah, no, I think it's the way it's
Cool.
laid out. I think it's going to be pretty. I think everyone's going to be seen the way it's laid out. You know.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then so down here next to Johnny, we have Ben Collins and Eric Allred.
Yep. Yeah.
And then so this is the people you want to hit when you go to the show, so you can get
Yeah. All the
each
totems.
token. You said like a totem,
Yeah.
right? A totem from
Yeah.
each of you.
That's so cool. I love that you guys are doing that.
Yeah, it's really
So, like,
fun.
You get all
And then-
four, and so then head in here. So see that foyer? That's another, bunch of tables. That's where the hallway leads from.
This
From
the hallway
into the
comes
foyer.
in right here, right? And then
Yep.
this is a foyer, and this is the entrance to the big room. Is that how it is?
Yep. Yeah.
Now the green room, is this like just where creators can go to chill out or
I
whatever?
guess so. I don't remember that. I guess it's just
Okay.
a side, bigger room. Yeah. I
Cool.
don't recall
So
that
over
much,
here
to be
we
honest.
have Rick Lopez, and this is Island. What is this island now?
The Cosmic Lion Island. Yeah, they're a sponsor of the
Okay.
show.
Ooh.
So super excited
That's
for them to
cool.
do
And
that.
then Evan McGuire is the
yeah,
artist.
he's
of
the
your
artist
book.
behind. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. And then you'll be. Oh, so yeah, I'm right here at I2.
Yeah.
So you're right behind me, literally.
Right
That's
behind
awesome.
Awesome.
That's great.
Great spot, Keith.
Cool.
Yeah, so that's cool. Yeah,
And we'll
this
have
is gonna be good.
Lex
Yeah, I'll
being
be
there, and then
bullshitting
John
with you
O'Burke.
all day. That'll be great. What's that?
Yeah. Well, Lex will be there tabling, running the table, and then John O'Burke is also going to be tabling with us, telling the remainders, a new book that just came out in November with Kieran Quinn. Dude, that book is straight up the most beautiful book in the Apollo catalog. That book is gorgeous. I can't wait for everyone to see the remainders in person and print, because that's all traditional work that Kieran does, and it is mind-blowing, dude. He paints everything. Like, digital work is hard for him to do, so it's all just gorgeous.
Dude.
You guys will love the remainders.
Awesome, man. This looks like fun. So, like, I've seen these scavenger hunts at other conventions, but this one actually sounds like it's going to be, you're going to get some interesting stuff.
Yeah, we'll think so. Yeah.
The Doom Days said last year was amazing. The show is going to be another. Was that
Yeah.
Core Memory? Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I
Honestly.
can't wait. I'm with you, man. I can't wait.
Super
Yeah, so this
psyched
is
for
cool. Very cool. So, are you going to hand out like printed versions of this to everybody?
Yeah, we have flyers that we'll be
That's
handing
cool.
out. And then a flyer
Very
for
cool.
Hyperforce 2 Kickstarter, a flyer for the current Kickstarter. So have a lot of printables. All the tokens are printable and whatnot. And Eric
Very
already
cool.
made all the little weed felt designs, so that's gonna be fun.
Love that.
I love it.
Yeah, it's gonna be. And I mean, that's what we're saying. Not every comic's for everyone. Apollo's very punk rock, very 420 friendly and stuff like that. Not everyone's for that, and we get that. But it's cool to have the people that are in for our fun and our humor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
make it
for
happen,
sure.
I mean, I'm not a big weed guy, but I could still find something.
I only
funny.
smoke it secondhand. But
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
I've had a couple edibles in my day, so I'm not.
Yeah.
But
I'm high right now.
Yeah. But I could find some
it's-
fun
it's
in Weed
9
Man
p.m.
and Bong Boy and
No,
stuff.
they-
So-
they could totally make
It's-
a appearance in
you'll-
your book, Keith.
yeah, right.
Mighty,
Dude,
Mighty
they
Mask.
could. Yeah, we
They
should.
could. They look like the
They
I would
look
love
like
to see
mascots
Tanner draw them.
for,
I'm
like,
right, exactly.
yeah. Say no to drugs.
Yeah.
You know? That's great.
Dude, I would love to see Tanner draw them. That'd be great. You're gonna do a pinup or something.
Yeah, Tanner's
Tanner
got such
did
a
a pinup
cool
of
look
me
to
as
his
the
art.
zigzag guy.
Yeah,
So I'm hyped for that.
it's gonna be great. And then Johnny shared.
That's
this
just
link.
the
So this
same
is-
map. It's the
this
same
is the
map.
same map, but like the one actually laid out with the creators' names. This is a map you can pull off of the IC3 website.
And what's
And-
that escape rocket on the top?
escape rocket.
Right in the corner here. If you go right
here?
there in that box.
This?
No, in the main map there.
Oh, right
there.
here.
What is that
This-
escape
Oh,
rocket?
I don't
Is that
know. I guess the
is that
intro?
Dr. Evil.
The entrance? Dr.
Oh,
Evil's there.
That's gonna be the
Evil
entrance
meeting.
because
Right.
yeah, because this is where the hallway starts right here in the first rooms. I mean, it'll probably make more sense when we get there and see it, you know.
Yeah, it's real easy once you get there. Yeah.
But so I'm in the main room right here at I2. Brandon will be right behind me at was that I6? Is that I6?
Yeah.
I6. And then Johnny is going to be right here in the hallway. You can't miss
WW1.
him. WW1, you can't miss him.
And you'll
But,
be able
I
to
mean,
hear me from anywhere, kid.
And then there's just a list of all the creators that are going to be here. A lot of them are the people we know too, Johnny. Like
So
I saw
many.
that.
I mean, Heather Antos is going to be there. That's
Yeah.
wild.
And I saw was it Wayward Raven, our pals over there,
Good
going
friends,
to be there.
yep.
Dude, Neighborhood Comics, they have some good people. Kevin Betu, Anya Driffel,
Johnny
John
C.
Burkett. Super hyped for him.
Yeah, there's so many people.
Ian
Like
Seco.
I'm excited to learn, meet some of these people that I don't know and see how, see what everybody's about, that
Yeah,
kind of
see what
thing,
people have. Like I said, I'm super psyched to meet Tony.
Who?
You know what I
Tony?
mean? Tony McMillan.
Oh,
So
gotcha.
sweet.
Attaboy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So nice.
Attaboy.
Colin Eden, dude, that's a guy to watch. Colin Eden, he has a great book, man. And he's
What's
issue 2's
it?
premiering.
What is it called?
I spaced out what it's called. Just go look at Colin Eden.
Oh,
It's
Trevor.
Yeah, okay.
Our
Trevor,
good
yeah.
friend Trevor Fernandez.
Trevor is going to be there. We
Yep.
know him.
Oh, this guy here, Keith Gleason.
Yeah.
yeah, there you go.
I know I saw Sean Wang from the Tick is going to be there. Good friend of
Oh,
ours.
nice.
I'm excited to meet Dean Haspiel too.
Mm-hmm.
Scott Harris King,
Higashi.
which I know very well. Scott's a good guy doing he does a lot of comics from the public domain. Like he actually took was it the Crime Buster comic, and he's like continuing it, which is kind of
Oh,
fun.
that's cool.
It's
Who
really
were you saying, Brandon?
Ryan
Who-
Higgins is awesome too. If you guys get
right under him.
if you guys get a chance to meet Ryan, he's awesome creator too. Love that guy.
Ro Higashi, she's great. She's a webtoon creator who went with Cosmic Lion to print. Super awesome art.
Cool. We know
Brian
Tim
Judge,
Jones?
cool guy.
Famous Tim Jones. Yeah.
World famous.
Daniel Calvin, which I've heard his name a million times. I don't think I've ever
Oh,
met
I know.
him.
I know Daniel. Daniel Knight and Rook. A bunch of books actually. He's done a lot of comics. Daniel's a great.
I wonder if I've met him at a show before. Maybe Johnny, you'll have
maybe
to introduce
Terrificon.
us.
Yeah, I'll introduce you
Yeah,
guys.
'cause I
Daniel's
don't
wonderful.
know if I've met him or not. I know he's in our circles, but I just don't know.
Yeah, real
if
great.
we've
Real
ever
great.
crossed
Real
paths.
great.
Dylan Klein, Starside C4. He's a great dude. Him and his girlfriend, wife, do a really good sci-fi book, and he's a big Coheed fan. So we're hyped to talk about the new album.
Awesome. Enrique Lopez, he's a good dude.
Yeah,
I like him.
Kike.
Adam
Jeff
Lema,
Lawrence,
really
he
good
does
dude.
my
Jeff
show.
Lawrence, one of my I love Jeff. One of my
Jeff's
favorites.
been on our show before.
Yep.
Yeah, great dude. Evan
And he does
McGuire,
Plastic City too.
Mm-hmm.
Evan
Mhm.
McGuire.
Javi
yeah, I'm just-
Martinez.
some of these names, I just don't know. So I'd be happy to meet most of these people,
Yeah.
Maddie Morps, her and her team made like these branded condoms that were
Oh,
the
really?
funniest thing in the world. Dude. Yeah, Maddie's
Oh,
awesome.
man.
RD Murphy right next to us. Super
Oh,
hyped
nice.
to be with RD.
George O'Connor, good friend of ours
George.
as well.
Oh, I can't wait to hang out with George.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, it's awesome that George is going to be there.
Yeah, there's gonna be so many people, dude. I'm so pumped
A.L.
for this show.
Peterson. She's great.
Oh, we have a Ed Pisker legacy table. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's cool.
Yeah.
I like that. That's gonna be there.
Anthony Pugh, cool dude.
Jack Purcell, I know Jack really well.
Mhm.
Jim
Matthew
Rugg, I'm
Schofield,
excited
dude.
to meet.
Rugg.
What's that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping I get a chance to say hello to him.
Matthew Schofield. He does Steamroller Man.
Tony.
He's also a worker on
Oh,
The
I know
Simpsons.
that book. I've seen that book around.
Yeah, he's an animator or director on The Simpsons too. Really cool dude.
Oh, is he really? That's really
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Tony
Vero
Sedani,
Stewart.
we know really well, Johnny.
Mhm. Tom Sicoli is one of my buddies. He's a super cool guy. I got to table with him.
Nice.
Tony Sedani.
Vero Stewart.
Yeah, you know, we know
Return to
Tony.
Randor.
Yep.
Nice.
It'd be nice to catch up with them too, because I haven't seen Tony in a while.
Heck yeah.
Tanner, yeah, of course,
Tanner.
Tanner.
Mhm.
The Super
Steve
Ogle
Arena,
brothers.
Steve Arena was on our show like
Oh,
about a
yeah.
year ago in Plastic
Yeah.
City. Good dude. Sean Wang, of course. Adam Walenta. I don't know Adam as well, but he's been at my show once or twice, and he's got that Punk Taco comic that he does with his son.
I know he is. Yeah.
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 Tony Wolf, great dude, does a great giant graphic novel. Great artist. I love Tony.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
so
There we
loaded
go.
with
We just
people.
made the list, Keith.
Yeah,
Yeah.
guys,
You did the
this
full
is
list.
where you got to be this weekend. This is going to be a
Absolutely.
amazing event. I
That's
cannot
Tony's
wait.
art right there. That was on that cover with Dealey.
Oh, was
nice.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah. I
very
wish I had
Tony's
one.
art.
With me.
Very cool.
So yeah, this weekend, $8. You can't beat it, and it's nothing but indie comics. I mean, where else are you gonna find a show like that? You know,
Love
there's
that.
Yeah, I love it too. I said to Matt when Matt was on our show, if I could go back and redo Plastic City, I would do it like this show. Instead of like the '90s Comic-Con template that I had. I'd rather do like a focus on creators, that kind of thing. So yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah.
It'll be a great weekend.
Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of fun this weekend.
Yeah. Hyped.
Oh.
So hyped.
Guaranteed Traffic. Yeah, last year was amazing. This show is going to be another core memory with you, Johnny. LOL. I'm excited for some panels. Yeah. Oh yeah, the panels. We didn't even talk about
We
that.
didn't even talk about. Are there any?
Those are all
specific
day,
panels
right?
That you
Yeah,
want to
all
shout
day.
out?
There's so many. I know the last one, there's a really cool one, Jamie Jones and Mighty Keen, where they're going to have two people sketch a prompt and they're going to talk about technique and analyzing that. So they're also going to put these panels on YouTube. So if you miss them, you can go watch them afterwards.
That's good for us as
tabling.
creators, since
Yeah.
we're going to be selling and stuff. Are
And
you a
so,
part
like-
of any of the panels, Brandon? Are
No,
you doing
not
it?
this year. I'm too booked, dude. Like I can't. I'm already stretched in between
What's
the
on
two
your
booths.
plate,
so,
homie?
Yeah. Well,
it'll be-
when I do a show, I try to stay at my table as much as possible, even though I
Yeah.
do like to look around. But if it was more,
get
maybe when they
footage and
do a
that's it.
2-day show, I'll look around more. But I'll probably be at my table the bulk
Yeah.
of the day. Like
I'm hoping
well,
so.
It's gonna be it's gonna be a busy show. There's gonna be a lot of people there, so you want to make sure you're present at the table in case somebody comes by and checks you out. But like, the key is to go to the show a little bit earlier to set up, and that way you can walk around in advance.
Yeah, well,
you can do a lot of good networking.
I hope we can
there.
set up on Friday so I could do that. It'd be nice to just
I'm gonna
walk
set
around.
up early Saturday, so I'm just gonna be glued there, and I'm gonna try to get footage as early as possible to kind of knock that out so I can enjoy it. But Lex is gonna be mostly at the booth, and I'll be running around for the good chunk of the day, I'm sure.
Word.
So I'll be in and out, but
Yeah,
if you find
Travis
anybody-
said he's going to be floating. If you want to stretch your legs, it can cover you.
There
So
you
yeah,
go.
there's an option for
Yeah.
you, Brandon. Awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
guys, it's gonna be great. So can't wait to see everybody this weekend. And I don't know. I if you guys are all set, I think we covered
Yeah.
just about
That's it,
everything
yeah.
tonight. which
Yeah,
is great.
absolutely.
There's a
We
lot.
got all the bases.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now, did you guys, Johnny, Harry, did you guys have anything you wanted to promote before we start wrapping things up? Or
Harry,
Well, weirdly, it's been a weird week, but I'm not sure where I saw this, but there was somebody that sent out an email or a post somewhere that said like calling all Doctor Who fans. I'm like, oh, what's this? So I clicked on it, and he was like wondering, he's trying to put together a book. I'm not sure where this guy is from, but he's like he wants to put together a book that's coming out in November. And all you had to do was like answer 4 questions, like how when did you discover the show, and what episode would you introduce a new person to so they can get into the show, and like so if you answer these 4 questions, you're automatically in the book. So I'm like, oh, whatever, I'll answer the questions. So I submitted my answers to him. I said like if I were to introduce anybody to the show, it'd be the episode that I would pick is called The 5 Doctors, because it's during because there's 5 doctors in it, plus their companions, plus all their enemies. So you can get a whole span of classic Doctor Who in one episode, So that's probably the one. I mean, I've gotten many friends or a few friends into the show, and I've always said, watch that show first. If you like that, there's plenty more. There's like other stories are pretty cool. So the guy's like, sure, you're in. So I'm like, can I get a copy of that book? It's like, well, I can't just give them out, but you can buy one. I'm like, that's what I'm saying. I don't want a freebie. Like, I'll buy it, but just let me know when it comes out, and I'll even mention it if it happens. I'll mention it here. I'm like, that'd be awesome if you could mention the book. I'm like, sure, whatever, So we'll see what happens. I'll keep you guys posted, but it's pretty cool.
That sounds cool.
Nice. And then one of the questions was, I think I shared that picture like in the previous show. It's like, what is your most famous, not famous, like favorite story from your fandom? And that's when I went to New Jersey one time, and like 3 of the classic Doctor Who, the actors that played the Doctor, were standing by the movie Doctor Who 1999 made-for-TV movie console, the TARDIS console. And I'm like, holy crap! And like, so we're all, I bought the a photo op with all 3 of them. And like we're all kind of standing in front of the console. I'm like, okay, guys, and we're all like hugging. I'm like, wait a minute, time out. What are we doing here? Like, this is the console. Like, how about I pretend that I'm pushing the wrong button, and you guys like stand around me saying no, coming at me like as if I'm gonna like crash the TARDIS. And like, yeah, let's do it. So I told everybody where to stand, and how to act. I'm like, I'm directing the doctors here. It's kind of cool. It's my favorite. So then like the guy snapped it. I'm like, how awesome is this picture? I was like so happy. Once I got the the printed out picture, I ran out of the room, and there was a classic Doctor Who writer who's written many, like produced and written many Doctor Who classic stories. I'm like, did you see this picture? I was like, yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm like, who cares? You nerd.
I love that though, because you have this awesome memory. You have this lifelong
oh my
memory
God.
From this comic.
I never thought as a little kid I would ever meet any of them, or I didn't even know that any of them were real, because as a kid, like there's like people in a box. You don't really understand how TV works, and now here I am directing these guys around. Like, how cool is this?
Super cool.
Yeah.
Well, since the Ogle brothers are in the chat, do you guys want to see the first 3 pages of the Mighty Mascots story?
Yes, I'm for everybody and have them. Yes,
I have them lettered too, which all right. So let me show you guys here. So this is page 1. This the plot on this is it's like evil sports mascots, which is so cool. Like it's pretty cool. So like they're raiding like a sporting goods store, but this is written by Travis Ogle and artwork and colors by Tanner, and it came out really good. He draws the characters great.
Yeah, Tanner's fantastic, dude. He's just getting better.
Great artist. And then this is the second page.
Oh, sick, dude, that's rad.
Yeah, I love the way he because they're right here's the backstory about it, and like I love how it's done through like Mondo's like technology, kind of, like it's like a screen, and great stuff.
I love the way he draws Brewster with the.
Me too. I like that.
Right, I can totally see Bong Boy hanging out with Brewster.
Yeah, right.
There you go. Yeah.
That would be a good crossover.
That would work.
Right.
That
Yeah.
would work. And then, of course, here's all the sports mascots that they created for the mascot verse. But they came out so good. Like I think my favorite is this one, the buff fellow guy.
Yeah.
Who's got the power of basketball sorcery.
Amazing. Oh my gosh.
It came out so good. The Emperor Penguin's pretty good. The Ice Emperor, Wallace Whoopi. It is great stuff. So Yeah, I can't wait. It's like a 13-page story, and basically mascots fighting sports mascots. I love it.
The last
And
thing
it's
that I
a
want to
story
mention.
I would never tell because I'm not into sports. So
Yeah.
so it's great.
But the last thing that I wanted to mention, I mean, we didn't know this last week at the time, but George Lowe died. The voice of Space Ghost died last week. You know? That link I sent you, he was a link of him at a Comic-Con convention dressed as Space Ghost, and he's like so funny. Like he's a funny.
He was only the voice of Space Ghost Coast to Coast, though, right? Not the original,
right?
661, right?
Is that right?
Is he? I thought it was just Coast to Coast.
I thought he was the voice of.
I don't think he was for the original Space Ghost when it was serious.
Oh, I don't know.
I think he was only for the
Coast
to Coast stuff. Yeah, yeah, right. I think I read that too, Brandon. I think he's just the Coast to Coast guy. Worked for William Street and all that. But he's great voice.
Yeah.
Like,
oh my god, like
it's perfect.
He was like a radio announcer in Florida or something, something like that.
Yeah, because if I remember right, the original Space Ghost cartoons, it was a deeper voice, more serious.
Right.
Yeah, he sounds a lot like him
there.
Yeah, so love that stuff. But yeah, rest in peace. Good voice actor.
George trips me out every time we lose somebody. I'm like, and Mel Brooks is still alive. Like,
I know.
God bless him,
dude. Like,
God bless. Knock on wood.
And Dick Van Dyke. Dick Van Dyke.
And
Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
Let's
stop cursing these people. I don't want to wake up tomorrow with tragic news.
All three of them died in a plane accident. Like Gene Hackman was 95. Like I wonder how long he could have gone. You know, like if he didn't, if rats didn't exist. It's like his wife died because of some kind of weird rare rat disease or something.
Yeah, virus or something. It was something wild.
She died of that. I think they had a barn or something, you know, and she got the rat. She came in contact with like rat feces or something, and then she got sick and died. And she was basically his caretaker. She was 64, yeah. And then I guess she had been gone for a week, and he was like wandering the house for a week, you know, like wondering because he had like dementia, so he didn't know where he was, you know, or what was happening.
Right.
So
it's pretty sad.
Very
sad.
Very tragic.
To an amazing,
the greatest criminal mind ever, and he dies like that. You know,
like Luther.
I know, right?
Yeah, it's pretty sad.
On that note, we should wrap this up before we bum people out even more.
Oh yeah, right. I'm sorry.
Quick, tell a funny story.
We were ending on an awesome note, and Harry's like,
I know, and then Harry's like,
I gotta bum everybody out.
Hantavirus. Like, you know.
Like Patreon. He's like, these guys.
Hey, Harry, do you want to remind anybody there's a measles outbreak right now? No? Okay. All right.
We should get the Debbie Downer music and just zoom into like Harry's face.
Do you have any like Sarah McLachlan music sitting by?
Awesome. Yeah, so I'm in agreement.
I'm going to forego any updates to tell everybody that they absolutely have to back the Kickstarter campaign launching tomorrow for one-hitters and Kick Out the Jams, which Kick Out the Jams is a really awesome MC5 song.
Yeah.
For those of you out there who don't know. So I highly recommend you back that campaign. You come down to IC3 this weekend. You come see all of us. You come see me at WW1. You have to see me at WW1 because I'm right there at the front and I'm the first person you see. So
be throwing spitballs with a straw if you walk by him.
Well, I'll definitely have Shirley Temple 7-Up. I'm thinking about just selling them $5 a can.
Dude,
you got one for Brandon, right?
I do have one for
Brandon.
Lex want one for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have an extra one for me. I'll also have soda too.
Dude, Lex is going to be so hyped. Comics and soda, she's going to be so happy. So
another person I should really shout out real quick with a soda at the show would be Tim Jones. So Tim Jones has a soda based on sour grapes. His comic, which is a grape, I think it's a grape lime flavored soda.
Yeah, it's like a grape lime flavor, but
I can't wait to try
really
that.
Sour, but you haven't tried it yet, Johnny?
No, I'm gonna go into a sugar coma this weekend.
I had one at the last show I saw Tim at, and it was good. I liked it.
I can't wait to try. I gotta try
Love
your
it.
Shirley
Good.
Temple. I gotta try Tim's
I'll have
soda.
4
I gotta get
flavors. I'll
stinking
have,
drunk at the drink and draw.
I'll have 4 different flavors. I'm getting 6 bottles of each. I'll have Shirley Temple. I'll have a blue raspberry orange lime mix. I don't know how that's
That
gonna
sounds
taste.
like a bomb pop, maybe
Sounds-
kind
yeah.
of flavor.
Yeah, it could be good.
That sounds dope.
Yeah, and then I got a peach soda and lemon lime. So
Ooh.
I'm
should be
excited.
pretty good.
Hey,
And you
That's
get
cool.
the
battle
you know-
behind you.
yeah, right. I'll hand one back to you. as
Yeah.
well.
Brand's just gonna pop out from behind the banner, going, "Hey, you got any more of that lemon
Yeah,
lime?"
Absolutely.
See hands come through, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
And if I see any other
Awesome.
crazy flavors while I'm at the soda place, I'll grab them too.
Word.
So,
oh yeah.
all right,
But yeah, like I
with
said,
that-
forgo
with that,
my update. Without further ado, let's wrap it up.
Yeah, everybody, thank you so much for joining us. You know, like, subscribe, share, all that fun stuff. And then we're finally back on schedule. This coming Monday, we'll be off, and then we're back on our bi-weekly schedule. So
I have so
Nice.
much writing to do, so we have to be off, Keith. If not, I would have just
Vibes.
called in sick next week.
yeah, sick to the live stream. But
Awesome.
yeah,
Thank you guys so
definitely.
much.
Yeah,
Oh, it's been
Brandon,
rad.
as
Brandon,
always.
thank you for taking the time, man.
And-
Greatly
yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Looking
check
forward
in
to
in a
hanging
few
out this
months
weekend,
again.
man.
Come back and we'll look at the
Always
next
down.
set of projects.
Your
that
energy is
follow.
infectious.
You
It
guys
is.
are the
And
only
I-
people I will stay up this late for. So
Oh,
I know.
Thank you.
guys love you.
Thanks,
Thank
man.
you.
That's great. I
Appreciate
love
that,
hearing
man.
that. But everybody, have a great rest of your week. Come see us at IC3, and most importantly, read some comics. All right, everybody, have a great night, and we'll talk to you later. Bye, everyone.
Have a good night.